Glay-Bo.
Yes, sir.
Word, Glay.
Man, it was one of those shower mornings, so I don't know what you're going to expect from me today, bro. I got my
Vitamin E.
Yeah, you already know. Yeah, I'm in one of those shower
Maya should
modes.
be here just in my collar, man. Got me looking crazy.
Where's she at?
Probably, I don't know what she got going right back there, scrolling, watching somebody else's podcast, acting like she watching.
Oh, she in the building. She in the big Maya in the building.
I asked her, I said, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna wear. She said, what? She said, pick a color. I'm like, pick a color? Like, what? Like, that's not how I determine. Like, yo, don't help me pick out something real quick. Pick a color.
We definitely gonna start off like that.
Like, yeah, what color you want to wear? See, that's when you got a lot of clothes. See, I don't have a lot.
Yeah.
So she said she gonna do me like Diddy. You know how Diddy told 50, he's like, yeah, we're gonna take you shopping. Like, she said she gonna take me shopping.
Okay.
what's the word, man? And I want to touch on. I actually just changed the thumbnail. Hold on, let me turn this music off. Actually, just changed the thumbnail to this. Added that Michigan coach.
Oh yeah.
Talk about that, bro. Especially regarding the whole conversation around discipline. And I guess first and foremost, you said we were going to do a mic check.
So. Yeah, we definitely got to do a mic check. Big Finn in the building. We definitely need you on this, Steve. Let us know about the mics. And then I'm also going to step out to make sure and ensure. So, Dak, you go ahead and just start talking to the crowd. I'm going to go into the other room and double check and make sure you're clear.
Of course. We're trying to make sure that y'all can hear us correctly. So I see Critical in the building. What's funny is, Critical sends that emoji. Critical, what is that emoji? I never know what that is.
Cut the water off.
Is that what that is?
It looked like a faucet that's closed.
Oh, I can't. Dang. I could never tell what that is. Shout out to Finn in the building. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Whew. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Finn, you know why that's a dope quote? Because I was just watching some video came across my algorithm where it was talking about like neuroplasticity, like the more positive thoughts that you have, the more positive things that you're going to attract in your life. The whole conversation around energy. I think we understand that probably, but I thought that it was interesting. I thought it was interesting as far as the things that we typically focus on. Those tend to be the things that we're going to see come to fruition in our life. So the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. I love that. I love that. A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. The honorable Marcus Aurelius. Shout out to you, Finn, always coming through with the great quotes.
Blay, your joint a little low. I don't know if you can turn yours up a little bit more.
Is it that mine's low or yours high? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because it's the same thing that I've always been using.
Because what I've noticed is I'm super loud, and then you're a little low. So it's almost like you have to play with the volumes.
Let me see. I just moved yours down. Talk. Make sure. Let's see. And let everybody know. No, you got to stay there. You got to stay there because you got to talk to the mic. Yeah. So let Maya, can you let us know how the volume's coming through? BK, talk.
Testing. What's up, Maya? Shout out to Critical Thinking in the building.
Matter of fact, it don't even matter. We'll figure it out as we go. Don't even matter. Yeah. Shout out to Samir in the building. Good morning. Finn, good morning. Critical and anyone else already in. Yeah, y'all being early. I be seeing it in the chat. I'm like, oh yeah, they tapped in. I like that. Why do I always have the ad song for Hot Pockets? Huh? It sounds good. Maya said. Why do I always have the ad song for Hot Pockets playing in my head every Friday morning? Hot Pockets. Indiana voted no to redistricting last night. They're working hard to redistrict a lot of states to make them all red states. Oh man, it's a lot going on, Samira. It's a lot going on. You know what I woke up today thinking? I was like, they are creating the chaos. Like I saw different videos, what's going on in England. You see what's going on here with the craziness, whether it's the kids that are just breaking into these stores. We're living in those times. We're living in those times. If nothing gets addressed, we're gonna have an issue on our hands. If nothing gets addressed, if we don't address things, the energy is gonna address things. However you want to take that. Finn said, when you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Love it, love it, love it. Good morning, y'all, and happy Friday. Big bro Steve already marched 2 miles, walked through the woods.
Chopping wood for the fireplace.
Man, that's dope. That's dope. Incognito, good morning, black guy in the corner.
What's
Shout
up?
out to Incognito in the building. There goes Finn. We got Phyllis tapping in from San Diego. What's the weather like out there, Phyllis? Matter of fact, Phyllis, you should host something, I think.
We'll
I don't know what it is, but you should host something. We can, our big bro, DC Cox, who we always talk about, he's living out there. So maybe that'll give us a reason to pull up on you. Shout out to Unc in the building, Grand Rising to all. Good morning, TGIF. And if you happen to not feel that way, I hope your work week was pleasant and that you didn't run into any of those headaches. Please remember to like and subscribe. Always remember. I love that. Always remember, things could always be worse. You could be the University of Michigan head coach, Sherrone Moore. Nah, let me stop. But hey, perspective is everything. Perspective is everything. We got Michelle tapping in from Kentucky. You ever been to Kentucky, BK?
Just to drive through. Just to drive through.
It's beautiful to drive through.
Oh yeah.
It's
It was
beautiful.
definitely a drive through.
One thing that I didn't realize is that when Dub was playing for the Bengals, I went out there and they play right on that river. So a lot of the teams, when they play the Bengals, I believe they stay in Kentucky.
Oh,
it's just the river.
It's just one that river. I know what river you're talking about.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Kentucky was beautiful driving through. Grand Rising. We sharing all the blessings. Anybody else tapping in? Did I miss anything? I hope not. Did I miss anybody?
I saw the Ludo on.
Ludo on. It's game time.
I saw
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. I saw the Ludo on.
All right. What you want to start with, Glay? This is what we didn't tap into
Tucker.
The conversation that we're going to do with Tucker and Theo. We still, I don't know if you were able to see. I recommend that everybody go watch the conversation that Piers Morgan had on his show. You know, he went back to the typical debate show yesterday, and the main topic was how he did in the interview with Nick Fuentes.
Oh, okay. And so he had his little mouth.
It's very revealing, bro. It is extremely revealing that people are on two completely different sides when it comes to this. It's like you're watching, you ever see like you're watching a boxing match and then the scores come out and you're like, yo, we were watching two completely different fights. That's what's happening with a lot of people. And it just shows that pendulum swing and how, I guess, extreme and radical it can swing back and forth, because it's like people are just completely talking past each other. It's generational differences. It's perhaps moral and principle differences. And I think the moral and principle differences are mainly based on, you know, propaganda, perspective, a lot of different things. But it's pretty scary to see, to the place that we're in. And the only reason why I say it's scary is because I don't know if people realize it. The powers that be, shout out to Professor and Steve, but the powers that be do an exceptional job. And it seems to be, I question, these type of situations have me questioning everything about history and that has happened, and whether all of this is just an intentional game being played where people are just controlling the puppets, controlling pieces on the chessboard, and leaving us to, you know, kind of act like we have this sort of free will while they just control things in the background and manipulate things. So
it would make sense for sure.
Yeah.
I think it definitely would make sense. I don't think it shouldn't be labeled as conspiracy to assume that a lot of things have been curated a lot more than we assumed or thought. I think I just take a step back and I'm just beyond blown away how just like this just seems to be such a bulletproof blueprint. You know, it's just like, golly, like I just don't get how they seem to hit every time. So for sure.
Yeah. All right. So let's let me see what clips we're gonna start with. I wanted to start with, we'll start with Good Morning America.
Shout out to Big Finn.
You want to start with the Michigan coach?
Shit, why not?
Go over some stuff with that.
Yeah.
Moving a little bit of a different direction than we typically do.
Start off, yeah. Shout out to Finn with the switch up of the beanie. Yeah, I went ahead and bought 3, man. So I'm gonna start rotating them. I'm gonna start rotating them. Crazy.
All right, let's get into it.
Coach Sherrone Moore remains behind bars, expected to make his first court appearance today for allegations of assault. Newly released dispatch audio seeming to match the location of Moore's arrest at the home of a university employee.
There's a male at the location and the house attacking her. The state's been stalking her for months.
Dispatchers also heard saying the man threatened to harm himself before fleeing the scene.
They're also advising when he left the location on their call, he walked out with several knives.
His arrest Wednesday came just hours after the University of Michigan announced in a statement it had fired the 39-year-old married father of 3 with cause effective immediately, saying credible evidence was found that Coach Moore engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member.
It's incredibly alarming that this situation exists, but that this man in this position would find, as a coach at a blue blood program, would find himself in this kind of position.
Moore was hired by Michigan in 2018 as a tight ends coach before ascending to head coach in 2024.
And another interception. Wow, off his backside.
Leading the Wolverines to a 17-8 record in his 2 seasons at the helm. Prior to his arrest, Moore speaking to reporters on Monday, excited about the team's upcoming bowl game against Texas on New Year's Eve.
Great opportunity for our football team to go against a really great opponent.
The university's president now calling for anyone with information about Moore's behavior to come forward, writing, "There is absolutely no tolerance for this conduct at the University of Michigan. None."
Now, Coach Moore has not been charged. An attorney for him has told us no comment. He's expected to appear in court today, and the University of Michigan says it will continue its own separate investigation.
This morning,
Dick discipline. Now, of course, we don't know what happened. You know, we're just all speaking from, allegations. But this seems to be, what did they say? He's married, father of 3?
Three daughters.
Man, unfortunate situation.
Very bad.
Unfortunate situation. And they're saying that he was stalking the lady.
Yeah, so I heard the stalking, sexual stalking got to be under the umbrella of harassment.
And then what came out? And I hope I'm not speculating, but something with. Did you and I just talk about it, or was this a video that I just watched? As far as was there a pregnancy or something involved?
Oh, that was me and you. Yeah, I personally believe that I saw an article saying that, or somebody had thrown in there when I was on Instagram looking up the situation, that I guess there might have been a pregnancy at some point in time, and he paid her to, handle it a way that he wanted, and he paid her for that. Now, I don't know if that's illegal, but I think when you hear stalking, you just automatically assume pressuring, possessive, you just kind of move things into that direction. But that information came out. Hopefully it's legit, but that information did come out. So it's just things came out about our guy from Ole Miss that went to LSU too, post him sliding over. Somebody in the chat remind me the head coach now of LSU that just left Ole Miss. But
that's not I know you're talking about. Go ahead, I got you.
Yeah, but it's just I just I guess the boys get on these campuses, and not even boys, the men get on these campuses, and then they just Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin. So Lane Kiffin, same things, not same thing, nowhere near same thing, but things were revealed that he was talking to girls and flying them out, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah,
When did this come out?
Oh, this was the day of him transferring. Screenshots and females were coming out and text of him saying, "Hey, I'm coming in town. You should pull through," or "Hey, I'm gonna send you a jet. Your boyfriend don't have to know." Wild energy. I don't know, bruh. I don't even know what. There's no way I could be making that much money. But you know what? I would hope. No, I know. I got to stand on that. There's no way that I'm in a position of making $6, $7, $8 million a year coaching coaches in. I'm married and kids, and I'm DMing shorties. That's just not gonna come back. I'm not gonna get extorted. You're out of. I don't know I don't know why the risk versus the reward is nowhere near it. For the people that just even get in that position, oh man, I'm weak in the knees, man. I don't know, but bro, it always comes out this way, bro. There's not enough amount of money you can pay to make this shit disappear. So it's just bro, I don't get it, man.
Man's greatest weakness.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Thank you.
especially, you know, that's why I believe that, you know, a lot of this stuff is intentional when you think about how big the porn industry is and how overly sexualized everything is, marketing every product with sex, all these things. Of course, it's still, you know, self-responsibility, you know, of course, that aspect to it. But I mean, this has been something that's been man's greatest weakness. I think back to, I always think about Helen of Troy in a lot of these situations. You know, you get caught up in a situation like this and you can destroy an entire empire, you destroy your entire family. You can, you know, forget the opportunities that you personally are giving up, but, you know, the people around you, like this is going to be something that's going to follow you for the rest of your life, alter things forever, perhaps. And, you know, it's sad. I saw who wrote, I think it was somebody wrote that, yeah, Phyllis wrote that, you know, Dick Discipline has everything to do with his character. I agree. And it's unfortunate that somebody gets caught up in a situation like this who has a leadership position where they're leading, you know, some men. And now I'm sure those men in that locker room or young men in that locker room, I'm sure they got a lot of questions and looking at the person that they're looking up to have certain standards that they're not willing to follow themselves. It's just an unfortunate situation.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure some of the athletes probably picked up on it. There was a video of him and her on the sideline. I looked like at practice, and you know, he was kind of trying to talk to her, but just like in a very like low key, incognito, no pun intended way.
Oh, I did see something like that.
Yeah, he was like, so it's just like he knew better, guys. Like, if this situation plays out where, you know, we got a lot of facts and it's, you know, not as much stipulation in this, he definitely knew better, bro. You know, sometimes I don't know, man. It's just like, is it really worth it, bro?
Yeah.
Go home, man.
We're definitely speculating at this point.
Yeah.
We're definitely speculating at this point, but let it be a teachable
There you
moment.
go.
Let it be a teachable moment. Because even with a lot of the whole Bill Belichick stuff, well, I shouldn't even have entered Belichick into this conversation because it's absolutely, totally different than what this could potentially be. But I want to see, should we play it? Is this the video you're talking about?
Yeah, this the one. Y'all go look at him.
Or the new head coach of the Michigan Wolverines. He was the interim head coach for a whole lot of games. So he is also a national champion. And he'll wave to the crowd.
Damn, bro. Wait, is that the wife or is that?
Nah, that's the Joan, I believe. That's the Joan.
And he's getting announced and posted up with her?
Oh, maybe it's not the Joan. It could be his wife.
Mean, it says posted up with his lover.
Oh no, then that's the Joan. Yeah. The eyes told it all to me.
Messy, bro.
Yeah, somebody said look like Erica Kirk. You know, no lie. It really
does. Speaking of Erica, nah.
These blondes out here causing havoc.
Yo, and I always thought that, like looking back in college, because in college we had female trainers, women trainers.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
And guilty of what?
No, I remember my girlfriend at the time was the trainer.
Oh, for real? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, were you? I was like, was he there yet?
I graduated.
Oh, you did graduate. Yes,
I graduated.
Uh-huh.
So the funny thing about that is you have trainers that are women in college or at certain colleges. Mm-hmm. So you just became accustomed to it. Even in high school, my trainer was a woman.
Actually, they're more likely than not always women, right?
When I got to the Colts, there was a line in the building that no women could cross. To my understanding.
Okay.
Like we didn't have any women trainers on the Colts. It was all men, which some people could think, well, you got to get massages and all types of stuff, whatnot. But there was no men. I mean, there were no women. There were no women, like no women in that part of the building. Like
okay.
If they were where the players were going to be in the coach, no women, like maybe in the offices and stuff like that, but there were no women across like a certain line. It seemed like, I don't know if I just made that up in my head or people just said that, but I can only remember one, if any, lady beautiful lady, actually. She was real cool, dope soul. Like yeah. But she was probably the only one that, interacted with the players. Other than that, nah.
They're not even doing that.
Because I don't think that men overall, it's tough. You get put in these positions. Everybody says what they would and wouldn't do. Everybody says what they wouldn't do, but everybody has vulnerable moments. And shoot, I mean, I like you. I hope that I would like to think that, you get in a situation like this, that I would never do this. I would never do that. I'm sure he would have said the same thing. I'm sure he would have said
no
the same
cap,
thing.
no cap.
Yeah.
That definitely gets you. Like you said, you definitely not want to not do that. But at the same time, I'm not all the very specific stuff that he's done. We'll see, but also clearly the door was open for him to walk into as well too. So some level of accountability has to be like. It's clear that the relationship was warranted to a certain extent. So that's where,
Are you blaming the woman?
No, I'm basically saying there was an opportunity there for him to swing the bat. Because she didn't have to rock with him. She could be like, oh, this motherfucker ugly as hell. I don't want to fuck with him. And then this could have been dead. But she clearly was on whatever time he was on. And then here we go. Two individuals putting themselves in a position. She clearly didn't know what was on the other side of the 8 ball, and we potentially see what transpired from that. So she gotta be held to some level of accountability that, like, it's not fair to just all of a sudden, oh yeah, he been acting like this. It's like, well, you knew better too, ma'am. You knew to shut that shit down. It's almost like the ladies, like in certain situations, don't know that they can say no unless it's a motherfucker that they don't want to fuck with. The amount of times I've gone to the club and gotten played for me to know, oh, okay, girls do say no. For them to be in all these situations where it always seems like the guys just always have the upper hand. It's like, nah, bruh, like she was just feeling him. You think I was feeling you? Yes.
Power is attractive.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the guy.
The guy.
Everybody
he definitely
wants
the guy. Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants the guy. And the fact that you can't have the guy in a lot of situations perhaps make you want it even more. So there's definitely temptations to go across to be discussed. But at the end of the day, bro, your life's gonna be ruined, not hers.
Yes.
Think about the coach on the Boston Celtics. You got fired. I still don't even know who the lady was that you got into your situation with. Fellas, tighten up. Could call it unfair. Could call it whatever it is that you want to call it.
But that's the game.
That's the game, bro.
That's the game.
That's the game.
So that's our 30 minutes on dick discipline for the fellas in the chat.
Yeah. And then I got a quick video for you. I found something specifically for you.
Oh, okay.
I got a quick video before we get into the next video. I actually got a quick video for you. Can you see it on the screen?
Yeah.
There it is.
Here you go with your Waffle House.
So since BK loves Waffle House so much, we gotta.
I never said I loved Waffle House.
BK said he liked Waffle House.
Oh, you think that's what's
Dude just wanted money back from his hash brown.
It's hash brown. Get the fuck out. Hash brown.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
I heard somebody in the background talking about some hash brown.
I can't even play the entire thing, bro. I can't even play the entire thing. But
so,
yeah.
what was the premise of this?
I think dude just
wilding out.
They ain't like how he cooked his hash brown. He may have, eaten a little bit too much for them to justify giving him a refund or a new hash brown. And I think that's just
But it's I don't know why he swung at Cuz.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, those employees bugging because he knows where they live, where they work.
Ain't nothing to come back and spin.
Hey, that's the only thing that I'll be thinking about. Like, damn, hey, how you gonna concentrate on work?
Cuz gonna just come back and spin.
All right, let's get to this. Can we let's get to this video that we were supposed to watch a little bit of yesterday?
Yeah.
This conversation between Tucker and Theo. I thought it was pretty interesting. Wanted to tap into that, get everybody's opinion. We won't obviously watch the entire interview, but a couple clips here, a couple clips from the show that I was telling y'all about, Pierce, yesterday, and anything else that comes up. You know, if you guys got any videos you want us to take a look at, anything that's relevant, please let us know. Let me share this tab and let's get into the real conversation for today.
You can hear me, Clay? My mic is good?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's happening.
Okay, bet.
Mm-hmm.
All the information on all these different threads, whatever it is, especially the murders, not just the recent murders, but or attempted murders, but the the more historical ones. If all the relevant information came out tomorrow, would we be surprised? No, we wouldn't. We know what's up, actually. And there's enough evidence, but also our instincts tell us just by watching, like, what is this? And I agree with you completely. It's not just about Israel, this country. It's about whether or not self-government actually exists. Like, do any of these countries have a system where the people decide who their leaders are and what the country should do collectively? Not really. Or it's more complex than that. Yes, I think elections are to some extent real and all that, but in the end, the big decisions are made not by nations or kings or presidents or whatever we imagine. They're made by, the world's richest people. And I don't think that's an ethnic group. It's not code language for the Jews. It's what it seems to be. It's the people with the biggest stake in this, who have the most to gain and the most to lose, are never going to leave the big decisions to like 3 zip codes in Pennsylvania. Like, come on now. Yeah. Come on, son. Like, that's true. And I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not claiming, all elections are totally rigged or whatever. The source code belongs to Maduro. I'm not making any specific claims like that because I don't know if they're true or not. But I know the big picture. If we know that Kennedy was pushing up against some forbidden things, and that's why he was killed. And who killed him? Well, it's too easy to say it was this group or that group or this group. It was all those groups acting in concert or parts of those groups acting in concert. Of course. That's all of what this is, right?
Bro, he's going down a path where I can understand, or not that I agree with it, but I can understand why a lot of these people who have a stake, a lot of these power players in the world, in the country, what he's pretty much doing is encouraging people to question the government and to perhaps not question what's happening right in front of our face. I think the majority of us still want to believe that there are certain principles that our government has, or it's working in some sort of structured way, rather than just buying into the fact that it's what it seems to be, where it's just the rich people in power. They're the ones that are dictating this and that. It's just too much out there right in front of our face to just ignore. These rich people are just running stuff. I saw, a matter of fact, our boy bring up a point where he was talking about how after October 7th, it seems like a lot of these power players, especially like the pro-Israel Zionists, he said that at that point, they knew that they needed a Republican in office because only a Republican president would be able to deliver on all the things that we're seeing happening right now. All these super pro-Israel Zionist type of policies, they knew that only a Republican president could deliver on this.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of these thoughts come to mind, and it seems like we're all just getting played. Even the entire Republican Democrat. I think I saw a video of your girl Megyn Kelly where she was talking about. I want to play it. If I have it on, I may just look at it and play. Matter of fact, you respond so far, and I'll see if I can.
Yeah. For the first half, I think he's definitely, that's where my eyebrows kind of raised up, where he's saying, we wouldn't be surprised if everything just rolled out and came out. And I agree with that statement. I think that our speculation would have full-fledged confirmation if things were revealed. I think it also stirs up a question for me is like, the people that are in these seats, right? These top seats, these control seats, you know, how is their anxiety level? The people are broing, the people are speaking, the people are hunting, the people are a lot more aware. Things are falling apart. It seems like they've got to go into overdrive to kind of keep this propaganda and keep kind of things in alignment for them to continue to stay where they're at. And so being at the top's got to be a lot more difficult than back in the day because, you know, this generation, they push and pressing and we want answers now. And so, I'm very interested from their perspective, like, do they just sit with comfort or is it like, damn, these motherfuckers, like, it ain't as easy as it was back in 2003 type shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough, man. And we make it very easy to be manipulated and controlled. So I think they almost sit at the top and, you know, put these pieces in play, control us. And it's like, it's a game to them. But I think they think so less of us because we typically just go along with whatever is being said. You know, they do something and, you know, JFK, nobody's going to look into it. They'll just, you know, they'll say it's this person and then, you know, this person says they didn't do it and then that person's dead. So who can speak up for that person? Across the board, we just see a lot of these type of things happening where we know that we can't trust our government, but for whatever reason, we still feel like this attachment to want to, this belief almost where it's just like, hey, we don't want to go where the alternative can take us. Like, let's say that our government, we do find out that all of these politicians with the Epstein files, you know, what they're doing. Let's say that we find out that our government is corrupt. Let's say that we find out all these things. What do we then do? Do we overthrow our own government? What does that look like?
Yeah, what does it look like? It's a good question.
Do we literally overthrow our own government? Do we then have to worry about, hey, our military splitting perhaps? Think about the conversations that you would be having as a military member if you find out that the very people that are giving you orders, the very people that are creating policies for America, the very people that are instructing you to risk your life. Think about the cancers or the separation, the division that's going to be created, the little groups in there where it's like, yo, rocking with this. Like, yo, we can't stand for this. This isn't patriotic.
Right. Who gonna spend?
And think about how I think what's always been interesting that we don't hear about are a lot of these radicalized groups, whether it's in the Middle East or wherever, but specifically in the Middle East. I always wondered how many of these radicalized groups are American military members that find out what we're doing in all these other countries. Well, not find out, but they're involved in doing all these things that we do with these other countries. They see it firsthand, and then they end up becoming radicalized. Because think about what that would do to your mental when you go out there and you start seeing, wait, this is what we're doing. Like this is, a lot of stories have come out recently with the IDF soldiers, how a lot of them are experiencing a lot of mental health issues because of the things that they're participating in with this current genocide.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's when, you know, it affects all parties included and all parties not included. So, you know, you want to obviously handle it in a way where it's like what's best for the people, because the people should be the number one focus point. But at the same time, when you have this level of corruption, you have this level of, you know, control and chaos at the top. It's just like, you're right. Like, guys, I don't even know what the alternative is. I don't even know who the interim coach is going to be in this situation. I just don't get it. So it puts you in a position where you're like, you're right. Like what's going to happen if it's up? Like Epstein files roll out. What we going to do? We going to spin, or we just going to have to sit back and be like, all right, well, we know y'all played us before. We just, you know, we just want y'all to play us differently. Like, I don't know what it'll be. So I definitely understand that. I'm seeing in the comments a few people saying the sound is kind of,
can't hear me. But Maya's saying that she can hear me.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I don't. This is when I get pissed off, bro.
Is it? It's the Streamlabs, ain't it?
I don't know. Some people saying that they can hear me. Other people saying that they can't. I don't know. I'll turn it up all the way. I don't know. I don't know. We turn BK's down. Maybe God just doesn't want me to be speaking right now. I don't know. Let me just damn, I gotta do all this extra shit.
Okay.
Oh boy.
How about this? I'm gonna go. How about y'all now? Is this good?
I gotta talk into it like this, I guess, but I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever. It is what it is. I'll hold it for now. I don't know. Well, Maya, why did you tell me you could hear me if you're telling me to move my mic up? But she's saying that it's coming through clear. I don't know. All right, I wanted to take a look real quick at this Megyn Kelly video because there's something in this video that makes me believe that these people are intentionally manipulating us. Could you hear me before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I wish. Okay. All right. So take a look at this video. Let me know what you guys think.
Back and forth now between Erica Kirk and Candace Owens. And I want to ask you guys about the politics of this, the politics of it, and also the politics of Israel, because those two things right now are dividing the conservative movement and some inside of it. And now it's gone beyond the back and forth between like a Candace and the Turning Point group into this is going to cost us the midterms. The midterms, you guys are the politics experts. So I'm going to set up the underlying argument on which you do not need to opine, but I'm going to ask you for your take on the politics of it. So for the audience, here is what happened. Something extraordinary happened yesterday. And just FYI, I am going to have more to say very soon on what's happening between Erica Kirk and Turning Point on the one hand and Candace on the other. Not today, but very soon. And I have my reasons for that. So Erica went on with Harris Faulkner yesterday in, again, promoting Charlie's book.
Oh, your sound off, Glad.
My fault. I was a little bit distracted. I was trying to figure out the mic situation, but did she already discuss that? Did she already say that this is going to destroy the party, or it's?
Yeah. She started talking about that.
Okay,
yeah.
So that's all I wanted to highlight. The only part that I wanted to highlight
or something.
Yes. Okay. All right. So good. So the fact that she's somebody who's in politics, who's making this about us versus them. Oh, this is going to impact our team, the conservative team. You're too smart and you've been in politics too long to think that this is a us versus them type of thing. Megyn Kelly, you understand that the people that benefit, the people that get their agendas completed when it comes to these politicians are the groups that put money into both parties. This is why I think all of this stuff is intentional, bro. Like all of this stuff is no different than the NFL. Hey, we're going to set up the Eagles and we're going to play against the Giants. We're going to make a whole lot of money. We're going to convince everybody, all the Giants fans to hate the Eagles, all the Eagles fans to hate the Giants, and then we're going to make a whole lot of money. This is what politics is, bro. She's sitting here as somebody that's had a career in politics, who understands exactly how this works, and she's still talking about this us versus them type of mindset. This is not a us versus them. It's, hey, what are the principles that we're following? And this type of mindset that she expresses is exactly why we get to a position where you'll start to see the parties shift their stances on certain things. Like the parties will shift their principles. And we've seen this happen with the recent elections, where it's like, damn, I thought that that's what the Republicans were for. Like, who's for censorship? Oh, it's just when it's convenient. And all these things, when they switch, the people don't switch. The parties will switch their principles, but the people don't switch. And that just shows how manipulated we are as a people, because we look at it as us versus them. People that vote for the Democrat or vote for the Republicans today will say that it's based on certain principles, right? Certain principles and policies. But when the parties actually switch those principles and policies, the people will still vote for them. And it shows. Call out what it is. Call out that, hey, the only people that benefit from politics and getting their agendas done, Big Pharma, Israel, and Silicon Valley. The people that are putting money into both. Now, this isn't even to bash them out or to call them out. I'm more so focusing on these dummies like Megyn Kelly, who are trying to convince us that this is some us versus them type of thing. It's the silliest mentality when it comes to all this. And I think that's why they're scared to death of people like a Tucker Carlson, who he won't say I'm with this or with that. Now, obviously, he's going to come across more conservative, but because he has a stance that's not, hey, I'm just going to do whatever's best for the Democratic Party, or I'm just going to do whatever's best for the Republican Party, whether I need to lie, whether I need to cheat, whether I need to manipulate. At the end of the day, we just need to make sure that we're winning midterms. This is the mindset that gets us tricked, while Tucker Carlson's mindset is, nah, let's just look at it from this standpoint. Like, what are our principles? What do we want to stand on? What actually makes sense? He did an entire dialogue, which we probably should show after this, which he was talking about our greatest ally. And he goes into detail with why is this our greatest ally compared to, doesn't it seem like this should be a better ally? So he's approaching things from a common sense standpoint, waking people up to see things from that standpoint, and waking people up to see exactly what politics is and how we're getting played, while people like Megyn Kelly just continue to feed into this nonsense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's kind of like you said, forcing that divide. I think of like when a girl gets into a situation where her boyfriend goes back home or goes out with her friends, tells her friends about X, Y, and Z. The friends take the opinion or the side of the girlfriend, but then the girl goes back and makes up with the guy, but the friends are still left holding on to that level of resentment from whatever the situation that transpired. And that's exactly what I thought of in that metaphor when you were explaining that. So yeah, it's like it's clear as day that you're showing your hand when you speak like this, Megyn Kelly. Your goal isn't to find peace and to find some common ground for the people to stand on. Your goal is just for your party to win. This shit is a joke to you. This is a game. Hey, I want my side to win. Like, that's when I'll be happy type shit. And so there's no room for you in politics to begin with because you're too emotional. You're not looking at the facts. You're not looking at the literature. You think this is a video game and we're one up now. This ain't Connect 4. But, you know, when these type of people get these platforms, this is what they do. They teach you that this is politics and this is the way it should be played. Either you're all on the right or you're all on the left, but there's no in the middle. And we're willing to do whatever, deflate the balls to win type behavior. And so that's what I get from her as well. That's the energy I get.
Right. And since we were focused on yesterday when we did our meeting, shout out to Dr. King, and we wanted to talk more about solutions. With all these different stories, we want to focus on what's the solution to this. Whenever I'm hearing any of this political stuff, I always go back to the point where it's like, why does anybody even belong to a political party? If you really want somebody to get something done, these politicians, they're going to chase the people who they don't think are voting for them. They're going to chase the things that they need to win the people over who they haven't already won their votes. When you assign yourself to a party, it's like, why am I even focused on you? Like, I already know that, hey, you're most likely going to support me. If everybody was independent and dropped their political affiliation, right? Drop your political affiliation. No longer would it be acceptable for politicians to sell us on the things that they're going to do. They would have a lot more pressure on them to do certain things and to sell me based on the things that you've already done, rather than the promises that you're saying that you're going to make. Absolutely. I think this is on us. Our politics, our politicians that we always complain about, the government that we always complain about, largely it's simply a reflection of our ignorance and us allowing them to get away with all these things. When we sit back and wonder, like, damn, how could these politicians are corrupt? It's the government, it's this. No, we are allowing this type of stuff. And even though Tucker is right, these powers that be, these money players, these big oligarchs, whoever they are, they play a significant role. We make it very easy for them. We make it very easy to be controlled because of this gang mentality, Democrats versus Republicans, and thinking that this group has a moral ground to stand on compared to that group. And meanwhile, what ends up happening is both parties end up getting away with doing crazy radical things that typically nobody would agree with, because the loudest voices, the most radical voices, people end up moving in their direction because we only have two radicalized sides. And we always talk about this pendulum swing.
So it's almost like, so it sounds like it's almost like you would have, like you said, you would have to break down the walls of being right or left and make it more focused on solutions, policies, but also what you have done in the past that gets you back in office type energy.
Right.
Like we're
What
not
have you
voting
done?
on. Yeah, what have you done? We're not voting. You Republican. I don't give a fuck. You left. I don't care. What did you do? What changes did you make? Oh, you wasn't on that, or you didn't sign that. Yeah, I'm not fucking with you. Like, I don't care what jersey you got on, type shit. Because everybody that got a jersey on don't mean they on your team, and that's what they constantly keep pushing and creating.
Mm-hmm. Think about it even from this standpoint with the last election. The Democratic Party, the party of democracy, because a lot of people will say that they belong to a political party so they can vote in the primary, so they can select the candidate who's going to ultimately represent the party. But perhaps that's the reason why we can't have a third party candidate have a legit chance. And even staying on that point, when you go back to the last election, Kamala Harris was appointed. She was appointed. There was no vote. The party of democracy. There was no vote. She was simply appointed. People were played in an election where maybe more so than any other election before, people were disappointed with the candidates that were presented to us.
Yeah.
She was appointed. Nobody forced a vote. Nobody forced this. Nobody was upset that people were upset, but it didn't make a difference, that Biden ran so late. And the reason why Biden got away with running so late is because people were manipulated. People were brainwashed. The fact that people really did not think that debate with Donald Trump would go exactly like that because Joe Biden is cognitively on another planet. That's what happened. Like, that's the problem. People all along for Joe Biden's entire presidency were defending him because they have this gang mentality. So you're going to defend. No, he seems sharp. It's like Joe Biden wrote his name on the paper today on his test. Oh my God, he seemed very sharp today. Like, the standard of the president was so low, you wouldn't trust Joe Biden to babysit your kids, but people were perfectly fine with him running the country.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that gang, it's us versus them. It's, well, if he doesn't win, then what about them? And all that stuff does is it lowers their standard. When you pledge your allegiance to somebody before they even do anything, it lowers the standard for what they feel like they have to deliver for you, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. No, that's spot on. I love what PT Salty said. She wasn't just appointed, but anointed. And that's true, right? Like, it just doesn't give you any alternatives. It sets the bar very low. Just thinking you could just throw shit on the wall, and if it sticks, let's run the play. And because they're affiliated with the sides, then, like you said, our level of expectation, it's like, yeah, but he on the left, or yeah, he on the right. And so it just ruins and lowers the bar overall in politics and what we'll accept and not accept. And then so it just doesn't surprise us when we constantly met with this below valuable situation here, and we get to this place now.
And this is why I hate to always go back to it, but this is why young people and a lot of older people of all ages, are attracted to Nick Fuentes. Because we're sitting here as a young person, I'm sitting here having conversations with people, let's say, that are 50 and up, and they're still playing the gang games. If we looked at this like a street gang, it's like, bro, you're still gang banging. You're 40 years old. You're 50 years old. Drop your flag, bro. It's not working. It doesn't benefit the community. It doesn't benefit anything. It's stupid.
Yeah, get off the streets.
But you got people 50, 60, 70 years old still buying into this gang-like mentality, watching one side of the news. Like the people that watch Fox, oh yeah, I'm just watching things that are going to convince me to continually doing the same things. So therefore, this is where the frustration comes from a lot of people that are like, yo, exactly what Tucker said. You can look at this clear as day and say, this is BS that's going on. This is BS. This is not a real thing. Like, we are getting manipulated. We're getting played. And the young people are standing up saying like, yo, I'm not with this. I'm not with this. And the older people, this is what I would suggest. Do what you can right now. Look back at the things that you've continuously done time after time. And I'm not saying that we have to look at it from a blame standpoint, but there has to be some level of responsibility based on where we are right now and the adults that have been in the room the last 40 years. We have to have some level of accountability when it comes to this. So not to bash anybody that's continuously done the same thing for the last 40 years, expecting a different result, but also to highlight like, hey, what can I now do? Maybe I should listen to some of these young voices. Maybe I should, instead of continuously doing the same thing, maybe I should be open to trying something different, hearing some younger voices, rather than just wagging the finger at a lot of these young people and saying, well, you don't know, you're just young. You have never been laid. You've never been. No. We need drastic changes to adjust to this problem that continues to get worse and worse and worse while we buy into these politicians. You're just giving, why are you giving your loyalty away to a party? We can sit back and all acknowledge that, hey, this government across the board, like that's one thing that Republicans and Democrats can agree on, that this has been a complete, it's been a clown show. It's been a clown show. So if that's the case, let's be urgent. Let's be very intentional when it comes to the things that we're doing from a political standpoint while we still can. Let's not just continue to just do the things that we're comfortable doing. Get rid of your political party. Stop giving away things for free that people that are not giving anything to you.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense.
You on to something with that. You definitely on with some of that. Put that flag down. Yeah, put that flag down.
All right, let's keep going.
Uh-huh.
You feel that?
I like what you said about if all the pieces came out, would you be that surprised? Like if they laid the cards completely out.
Epstein, for example, the one that everyone's
right. I feel like that whole thing is some sort of I think there's definitely stuff there, but then also it's been such a kickball and a ruse for so long. Yeah. It's like both political parties had a chance to put it out or to get. None of these people are operating on our behalf. That's what it feels like.
Well, that's kind of the truth that I'm talking about. That's what we would learn.
That's what's scary.
If
it
all
feels
of this
like
came out.
It feels like, well, so many of us believe and have believed and have forefathers that have spilt their blood and risked their lives and have friends who are enlisted now to protect this thing that I feel like this idea of America.
Yes.
And then that idea has gotten super blurry in the past few years.
It has.
And especially at a time when I think a lot of people like, there's a lot of fears with like technology in the future and not knowing where we're going to find our sense of purpose, right? That's a big thing that we talk about on this show a lot of our time is like, where do you find your sense of purpose? And people find it a lot of times in their job, through their family, in their country, through their religion, through their faith. So some of those start to go away and some of those even look blurrier for the future, almost like it's like Marty McFly when he looks at that picture and it looks like he doesn't even exist,
yes.
And so it starts to make you think like, if more of our purpose disappears and our traditions are challenged by media over the years that they're wrong or they're racist or they're this or they're that, then you kind of end up with just, I don't know, it makes you feel like, well, what even is the value of me at a certain point?
I have the answer. I have the answer.
Okay. And I don't also want to sound too dour. Like I'm also looking at it from that perspective.
You're speaking for millions of people when you say this. Like everyone can feel, I think people feel exactly what you're saying.
And I still also feel like a lot of moments of hope of like, okay, so I focus on my family. I focus on my friends. I focus on doing something nice for someone. I focus on somebody else other than myself.
Exactly.
I do those things that do give you feelings of meaning and purpose, right?
Amen.
So anyway, I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer, but go on.
I think just the opposite. And by the way, I just want to amplify what you just said because that is the answer. And those aren't just feelings of meaning and purpose. That's the definition of meaning and purpose is to love the people around you, not people you've never met, not abstract concepts, communism, fascism, Zionism, whatever your ideology is. No, it's people. That's what it means to live a meaningful life is to serve other people. And by other people, I mean people who are physically present, who are connected to you in organic ways, like your relatives, your friends, your coworkers, your roommates, the people God puts in your path. Those are the people you love. Your waitress. Like that's what it really means to love people. So that's number one, always love the people around you. And whenever I run into people like, I just want to save the world, or I want to come up with a new system to make everyone happy forever, and we're going to call it whatever we're calling it,
Ketamine.
AI or ketamine.
Yeah, and that's bailing out, dude. There's people falling asleep at the car wash. They just had a guy. He fell asleep in there.
Yeah, well, those of us who've already been down the drug path are a little skeptical of being saved by drugs.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's also dangerous. Some of those brushes are sharp in there. Like
Oh, it's off, Glay.
My fault. I was trying to listen to something in the background, but I think sticking to the point of solutions, I think this is what we talk about when we always reference be the change. You know, be the change. What can you do in your community? What can we do? Obviously, if you look at this from a global standpoint, it can look like something that we'll never be able to fix. Like, this is just too big of a problem. And perhaps that's why a lot of us don't take accountability in the decisions that we're making personally, where, you know, I've discussed before with you where, and even on the show, where a lot of people, oh, well, even if I don't vote, it's not going to make a difference. Or even if I do this, it's not going to make a difference. Yes, it will. It'll make a difference to the people around you. And then that'll ultimately compound and turn into something that can ultimately be turned into a movement. But I do think from a purpose standpoint, we do lose focus of a lot of this stuff. We probably are the most, like the generation or the last 50, 70, whatever years you want to look at it, after the civil rights movement, or, you know, what people were getting behind, what has been the purpose of life? Like, what has been the purpose? Like, what have people grabbed hold onto and say, we need to fix this, we need to change this, we need to fight for this? We've been living in so much privilege in this America, where a lot of times our purpose becomes like things that, in my opinion, I mean, not to judge anybody's purpose, but they just became very, like, the ceiling is very low. The bar is very low that we set for ourselves as far as the contributions that we want to make while we're here in this physical presence.
Yeah. You definitely, I mean, Theo was hitting on some good things. You know, I think when you just even go down like that when you just become an empath and you just think emotionally, like in what you're saying now, you guys pose an awesome question. Like, damn, where are we leaving this? Like, where are we going with this? And now we're not even pushing and driving people to get closer with family and community because of environment that is pushing them to be that based on positivity. They're running to that because that's just all they feel like they can control at this point in time. And so the pendulum has just swung so far right. And like he says, when you have people that are enlisted and you have friends and, you know, we're fighting for this invisible thing that we just trust and believe in so much. And we're constantly reminded that it's not necessarily always there for us. I don't care what side you're on. At the point where it's legal for the water to not be clean, for the food to not be real, I think we got to start all the way the fuck over at this point. Like, we talking about all these things when the education is not taking in high regard. Like, hold on. This thing has just completely been taken over and hijacked by big pharma, like you've been saying, by corporate, by the big wigs. Like, this has just become monopoly, and America's for sale. And whatever industry you want to go into, what's your price? If it's food and drug, come on over. If it's tech, come on over. It's for sale. If it's TikTok, come on over. It's for sale. If it's mergers and acquisitions, it's for sale. And it's just like the people inside of these communities and are just getting shafted, tossed around like they're in the washing machine. And it's just like they're forcing themselves to believe in anything at this point. They're asking, they're leaning on their religious beliefs. They're leaning on their beliefs in their home. They're looking on social media to find some type of outlet or something to hold on and grab into, because America is doing the Americans worse than any other country has done us. There's no reason for the children to be feeling like this. There's no reason for Nick Fuentes to feel the need for him to have blown up this strong and this fast if we want to create an environment where that feels like it was needed. Yeah. So
yeah, I want to shift very quickly. I'm glad that you finished off. That was a nice segue to Nick Fuentes. So this was Piers Morgan. So the guy that when we were reviewing the Nick Fuentes, Piers Morgan, remember they had that guy come on, Danny Finkelstein. He was the one that talked about me mom. And he was saying how Nick Fuentes, he was kind of, Piers Morgan played a video of him almost like scolding Nick Fuentes and saying, well, he talks this about the Holocaust, but the Holocaust destroyed my family or something like that. Giving one of these stories about the Holocaust as if Nick Fuentes should hear this and say, oh, this guy gave his story about the Holocaust. Okay, let me never talk about Jewish people again. Let me never talk about Israel again. Piers Morgan brought this guy on the show, and I think his response to the interview says a lot about the generational differences, but also what I want people to pay attention to is that the reason why we question Jewish people and Israel controlling our government is because they've done a tremendous job in leveraging their votes, leveraging their power, and leveraging their money. They do a good job of winning. There is a lot of hate that comes to Jewish people simply because they outplay a lot of us when it comes to this game war of politics, however you want to call it. And I think a lot of that is based on everybody else outside the Jewish community. We can talk about the Jewish community, but at the end of the day, we've done a terrible job in playing the political game. We've done a terrible job. We buy into the Democrats. We buy into the Republicans. When I look at Jewish people, when I look at Israel, why are all the politicians seem to be like, that seems to be something where it's like, well, we have leverage on all of them. Now, some people can say that that's for, Epstein type of blackmail reasons. Some people can say it because of lobbying. Well, shoot, we could put up money. The same way AIPAC puts up money, we can put up money behind politicians. And even if we don't go about it the same way that these people are going about it, I think it shows that there's been for generations perhaps, or over the last 50 to 70 years, everybody outside the Jewish community has been significantly outplayed by the Jewish community. And when I say outplayed, I'm not just saying it from a manipulation standpoint. What I'm saying is they're winning and we are severely losing. We've done a bad job. We haven't adjusted. We're the losing team while the other team is winning, and we're sitting back pointing the finger saying like, oh, look at them winning, rather than just trying to win and using some of the same tactics, perhaps the moral ones that we agree with, and doing the same thing. Not being manipulated into Democrat versus Republican, because the people like the Jewish people, like Israel, like the Zionists, they are actually winning because they don't have this mindset of, oh, I can only work with Democrats or I can only work with Republicans. They don't do that. Why don't we study the winners? Why do we continuously study losers and continue exhibiting losing habits while the people that are getting their stuff done are doing it in a different way? So, yeah.
As you're saying that, though, I'm seeing another conversation. I'm not bringing up what we talked about yesterday, but when you look at the politics, it's the vehicle. It's the vehicle that allows people to come in and sway and pay and do all these things. And like you've been saying today, well, if what we're doing seems to put us on a dead end to some extent, or make us feel as if we are at one, then strip the whole thing to the core. You know what? We're not fucking with the left and the right shit. You know why? Because somehow, some way, you guys have found a way to play dirty in that game. So when you can't play dirty, you strip the vehicle that looks like that may be the problem. So just as much as it's been hard for maybe when we talk about the religious topics, we're like, no, it's not that we don't believe in these things, but we're just seeing people manipulate the vehicle. And so what we want to do is say, get the vehicle out of here. If it's real, it's going to stand on its own. And that's what I'm kind of getting from how you're describing this. It's like, cool, like left, right. No, we're getting down to the core and the foundation principle. What have you done for me lately? That's it. And so you can't get me on having the red flag or the blue flag. You can't be cripping or blooding and you think it's up for me. I'm not spinning for you just because you got the same colors I got on. At the end of the day, we stripping this thing down to the core, and that's what America needs done. We don't need any vehicles that the rich or the people at the top can play this game through, which it seems that they're going into all different fields, and they have sat back and analyzed and seen, okay, well, if it's the religious play, this is how we gonna run this play. But it's in the politics play, this is how we gonna run this play. And so for us, we just have to not be all turned up and be like, nah, we ain't off none of that. If you coming with that red blue shit, fuck all that. Like, we on principles. State to me what you on. Don't try to sway me with the parties. Because we're just the younger generation. We're gonna continue to push. We're just not buying into the colors no more. The red and the blue shit, we off that. We ain't cripping, we ain't blood, we ain't flagging no more. Like you said, drop the flag. So we just telling the kids at an earlier age to drop the flag because it forces people to reveal their true hand of where they stand. You can no longer say I'm aligned with this political party and just get all the benefits and all the sky miles and the points that come along with being in this political party because Joe Schmo and John fuck with that party. We just can't do that no more. So what I'm getting from it is like, strip it down then. Show me what you stand for without having to be associated with the brand, with the company, with the political party, with the religious party. I don't care who you believe in. I don't care what side of the fence politically you're on. I don't care what race you're on. Tell me what your stance is on your beliefs, your principles, your morals, and then I will then make my decision from there. But outside of that, you guys have been associating yourself with brands that have been manipulated, and I'm just standing against the infrastructure, not necessarily you specifically, but you have to understand you're associating yourself with somebody that has played the game. Why would we want to get into politics when we see that you can be in Israel and you can lobby for votes in America? Why would I keep associating myself with that? They let the wolf into the chicken coop. I'm not off of it. I see the game y'all playing. So now I have to make decisions considering that there's a wolf in here? Nah, man. Y'all ain't for the people, y'all for the bread. And if you on that, then this is how we gonna move as a group and as a unit and the American people. This is how we gonna move. Because for some reason, we gotta pay the back end for this shit. We gotta pay the taxes. We gotta pay for the wars that are going on. You can't take American 40 or 50% of America's check and then tell them to shut the hell up at the same time. Then just don't take their money. And then make it a choice if they want to stay in America. But they can't come to America, you take half and then tell them, well, you're going to shut the hell up and take this. What is this, a plantation again? What rights? What freedom? Where? This just better than slavery, I guess. But it's just a new updated version. But you can't take half my check and then tell me shut the hell up. And then I'm looking up and y'all doing deals and not even asking me and all that. Cool. Just don't take the American people's bread. They just trying to find something to believe in, build community, and you guys done took all their money. They can't even stay in the neighborhoods they want to stay in. Like, you just doing your employees wrong.
But they can take your bread because you allow it. And employees who stick around long enough to continuously complain and complain and complain about getting mistreated, go get another job. Go figure out a different option. Even when it comes to what Angel just wrote, except the person that you are fighting doesn't play fair. Let's say that these people aren't fighting fair. We're still not doing our job as far as the things that we can do on our side. Jewish people make up how much of the population? And you telling me we can't put together these super PACs? Yes, it's not a news flash that when you give politicians money, just like when we give y'all money, you wouldn't get up and go to work every day just because, right? If your job wasn't paying you. So clearly when you give people money, it's going to influence their decisions. So we're not doing the same thing that they're doing to put this money together. All this playing the game fair. Look, if Jewish people, let's act like they weren't even involved. We'd still be doing dumb stuff by associating ourselves with these goofy parties and going along with the things that they're telling us. We just keep following them along. They keep kicking the can down the road. We keep following them. Just like we're just sheep. We're just sheep. At the end of the day, people have to get out of this mindset as this, oh, it's just they're operating in an unfair way. That's why they're winning. I just showed y'all the video the other day. They said they're not waiting on a Messiah. They don't have that same mentality that a lot of us others have. They are intentional. They are urgent. They move differently. People can sit back and say, oh, well, you know, they're just fighting not fair. They're fighting unfair. Perhaps that's true in some cases. But I'm telling y'all, as somebody that's been around a whole lot of Jewish people, that has learned a lot about the Jewish culture, been very fortunate to learn a lot about the Jewish culture, they move different. They are a serious group of people. They take one day a week off and just hang out with their family. From Friday to Saturday, no electricity. They're locking in, building with their family. So there's a lot of things that we may just write off as, oh, they're just moving unfair. No, study the Jewish culture. Understand how they move. Understand that they're not trusting the public school education to teach their kids. They're making sure that even if they live in towns where they're paying absurd amount in taxes, like my neighbors that I grew up with, my aunt and uncle, that family, they're paying crazy amount in taxes and sending their kids to private school because it's important. They invest in their kids' education, and it's important for them to understand what their kids are learning, who's teaching it to them, because they know that ultimately that's going to set their perspective on life. We can sit here and complain as much as we want and perhaps be right in a lot of ways, but it's not going to fix anything. We have to exert every single thing that we can, and we're not doing it. Even if, like,
oh, it died, Glay. Yeah. So while he's getting the sound together, but I completely agree. You know, I do agree that it definitely shows that, you know, the blueprint is here. The blueprint is here. We have to go into it with a very positive mindset. And we're seeing that numbers, but don't overpower mindset and willing to win and make sacrifices in all categories at all costs. And not getting caught in the rat race, right? Not getting caught in the monotony of just being okay with sitting back and relaxed, or if I'm good, then everybody else is good. Like, no, they're working as a village, as a unit. And there's a lot of takeaways that Dak mentioned just in that window here that I'm getting from it, where it's just like, you know what, if you applied a lot of those principles and structures, I think America can definitely move in a position in a way where, you know, it could be definitely towards our benefit, and we could definitely see some upside on this.
it's lazy. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's lazy. This mindset that we have, we're 50, 60, 70 years old talking about the game's unfair. It's rigged. It's lazy. That's a lazy way of looking at things. And I'm not at all saying that Angel, I don't think that Angel has this mindset at all. But so let me remove Angel from the screen. But I think that it's a lazy mentality that a lot of us have. We're not doing everything that we need to do on our end to try to win and to try to move things in a positive direction. We are lazy. We don't move with intention. Everything about us, we don't have urgency. We just sit back and complain. We watch MSNBC, we watch Fox News, or we watch our favorite podcaster, and then we continue to do the same thing, just vote. We just vote. We don't organize, we don't unite. We are not a serious group of people, but we expect serious results. We're never going to win. We are never going to win unless we're willing to take certain risks, jump out there and do something different, and acknowledge to ourselves that, hey, how I've been looking at this has been completely wrong, and I need, moving forward, to move in a different direction. Drop your political affiliation today. Stop attaching your allegiance to something just because. Well, mom and dad were Democrats, so I'm black in America, so yeah, I'm a Democrat. I'm a Democrat. Well, I'm conservative because my parents are conservative. I'm Christian because my parents are Christian. Yeah, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. Do some independent investigation. Take onus, take responsibility. Figure out what you can do outside of what you've been doing and expecting a different result. And then maybe we can have a more serious conversation, and then maybe it'll be more relevant to us saying people are, they're operating in an unfair way. We can't even talk about that right now. Should I play the video?
Yeah. No, that was good, man. You hitting on some good points here.
All right.
The horrible pylon that's been directed at you in the most mocking, awful manner.
That's really interesting.
What's it been like for you?
So that is a bit distressing. There's no two ways about it. But I suppose you have to understand that Hitler would never have come to power in the first place if there weren't a lot of people with that mentality, and that's all he's proving. His own response on the programme was, I think, the only thing that he sort of felt he could do. But I think he made a big mistake. I think he thinks, he lived at large by admitting what, kind of just saying to you, yeah, sure, I'm a racist. Sure, I don't like black people. Sure, I don't want women to vote. Sure, I think the Holocaust is fine. He thinks that he's winning out of that, but actually what he's doing ultimately is marginalising himself. So he does produce, as you've experienced and as I have, this kind of deep reaction where people, interestingly, repeated his jokes. So it was all like a bit of a cult, and I noticed that. And that's not nice to receive, but I think it's worth it in order to try to expose the sort of person he is and to try to isolate him from the rest of the American right, which I'm very concerned about. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted you to go ahead and confront him in the way that you did, which I think was very effective, and why I wanted to join in with that, because I think it's really important that this kind of thinking doesn't go into the mainstream of the right. And he chose the path of deepening rather than widening, and that was a mistake.
Yeah, he did. But it's whether he would see.
Can we just stop and acknowledge the fact that these are not even Americans? And it's just, I'm almost like mad that I even played the video at some point, because here you got Piers Morgan feeling entitled to speak about a Nick Fuentes. You got this random person who's in England somewhere who thinks that because he wrote a book about his family story with the Holocaust, that he can just discredit everything that Nick Fuentes is saying, and they compartmentalize or categorize all Nick Fuentes supporters as this. And I don't even know where I was going with that, but I just wanted to point that out as we get into this conversation. But it just shows, like, Nick Fuentes just shows a frustration of how badly beaten we, the people of America, have been taken advantage of, and how the people that are 50, 60, 70 years old have just allowed it to happen. And now there's a group of people that are completely pissed off. And these people want to sit on this moral high ground and act as if Nick Fuentes is saying, oh my God, he's so terrible. Like, oh my, the Holocaust and all this. Bro, it's getting to a point where
you about to go there.
I'm not going to go there. Let's get back to the video.
That as a mistake, or whether he thinks, as he says, we're a couple of old boomers who just don't get it, who don't understand how young American men are thinking right now, and he's much more aware of how they are thinking about issues.
Calling us boomers is like reconfiguring or rebadging his incredible ignorance and childishness as an asset. In fact,
his incredible ignorance and childish, this is what boomers do. And I'm not talking about all boomers, of course, but this is what a lot of older people do. They try to gatekeep. They act as if, like, you're not just smarter because you're older. You've been living in America. You've had more brainwashing than a lot of the younger folk. So the younger folk, in a lot of ways, come into it with a fresh mindset, a fresh outlook, where it's like, whoa, this is crazy. The things that you're used to and you've accepted for a very long time that have landed us in this place, people are coming in, walking in like, yo, it's cold in here. Like, just because you're used to it being 60 degrees and somebody, it's like, wait, what? Like, bro, turn the heat up. What's going on here? This is what's happening, where it's an elitist mindset that you think because you've just spent more time on this planet that you're smarter. You're not. And the reason why a lot of y'all aren't is because you haven't had access to the information that is out here now. You've only had access to information that the government is controlling, as they control the mainstream media outlets and tell you exactly what it is that they need to tell you in order to control you. That is what's going on.
Yeah, what I got also when you were saying earlier, you didn't really lean into it like I wanted to lean into it. I wanted you to lean into it, but just the simple fact, like, yo, this is not American history. This ain't our shit. Why is it so pressed for us to accept what he talking about? Is he pressed on the American history and how it is impact?
You mean this is not UK history? You meant, right?
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah. Like, it's just like, how do we get to this place where it's just like, if he's not interested in that, Nick Fuentes just not interested in that.
You mean with the Holocaust, you're saying?
Yes, that's it.
Be specific, bro. You got
my
people
bad.
wondering, scary ass.
Oh, no, it's because we were talking about him. So, like, him speaking about this topic. So it's just like, what's the infatuation for Americans to have to digest this pill to this accord? Like, we got it. We established it. Like, why is this who you bring to Nick Fuentes, like you were saying? And I'm just like, if he don't want to care about it, why must he? Why must he care?
I don't have to care about the Holocaust.
I just don't understand. Like, I'm not even downplaying the Holocaust, but y'all putting it on me like, okay, man, I just don't care. He just said, like, why do we have to get to a point where Nick Fuentes has to just come out and be like, you know what, I fuck with Hitler? Big nigga, he said he just don't care. Like, it's not his history. He don't care. He's talking about American shit. Why the fuck is it pressed that he talks about y'all shit? Are y'all pressed about American history? It's interesting to me. It's like, take the pill, take the pill. You will care about this. It's like, nah, I don't care, bro. Just leave me alone.
But people have allowed them to get away with this. People have allowed them to get away with this. That's why Nick Fuentes, what he's saying comes across so shocking.
And it really shouldn't be when you really break down.
It's like, yo, that's happening over there. Okay, there's been plenty of genocides. Literally, most of the countries that have been created and exist right now have happened based on genocide. So why is this the only thing that we care about, bro? I don't have to care about this. Why do I know more about the Holocaust than I know about even the Black history or whatever we'll call it before slavery? Like, all I know when it comes to my own history is, yeah, niggas were slaves. Then they put some dogs on us and some very strong hoses. And yeah, then we marched a little bit. Dr. King got shot. Malcolm X got shot. And here we are. Like, why am I forced to know more about this than I am even about no, I don't have to care about this.
Right.
And I don't have to prioritize it.
There you go. If you walked up to 10 white people, and this should just be a case study, and asked them about Nat Turner, Marcus Garvey, you think they'd be able to tell you a thing about them?
Hotway. The list can go on. You think they could give you a detailed version of all these things, but it's so important for y'all to know about this. And Nick Fuentes is a result of people not having the courage to stand up and say something. People for so long just going along with whatever the American news outlets and media told them. I'm beating a dead horse. Let me continue. You want to add anything? No, I felt good. Yeah, I got it all.
It's obvious is he hasn't got a foggiest clue what he's talking about, and he doesn't know anything about. There was one brilliant bit where he said he thought Hitler was cool. He said, "I'm not in favor of genocide."
Let me. Says my dad's listening very quickly. I can remember being at like a lunch with my dad and his friends, and I'm just sitting there like listening to them talk politics, and I'm just like, damn, this is like, we just see things totally differently. Like, we just see things, the things that bother one generation just don't bother me. Like the stuff that, we have to figure out a way to, I don't know, find some common ground or meet in the middle or somehow, or there should be some type of structured way to pass along leadership instead of people trying to hold on to this hierarchy or whatever it is in the family or in politics. Like, we got to figure out a way to pass the baton when it comes to a lot of this stuff, because if not, it's going to be a lot of the same ways of doing things, and there's not going to be any innovation. Let me
Yeah, that's probably the nicest way I could say that. Shout out to my dad, who I'm grateful for does listen from that standpoint, and who's listening right now. So let's keep going.
In parentheses, well, you actually are. And so he doesn't really understand anything about it, nor do his supporters. So they kind of dismiss it airily as, a laugh and who cares what happened all that time ago, and then calls us boomers as if you or I cared about that.
Yeah.
Right? So yes, it's absolutely true. I've lived quite a bit longer than him in order that I've actually read more books, understood more, and know more of what I'm talking about. So
I've lived longer, I've read more books, and I know what I'm talking about more. This is the arrogant mindset. This is the arrogant mindset. Let's keep going.
He was sensitive about his own ignorance, and it came out in a kind of bragging way. And then, of course, a load of other people pile on to support that as if they're unbothered by it. But he's made a mistake, which he'll live to regret, even though he's 27 now and hasn't lived very long to regret anything.
These people don't even realize that they're just creating more and more Nick Fuentes fans. And division.
Yeah.
They're just creating more and more of it. Like they're just creating more. Like when across the board, when people in leadership positions are not willing to adjust to the current times and listen to a lot of the maybe younger people in their organization or the innovative thoughts, that come from different places, it ruins the next generation. Yeah.
Like we were talking about that yesterday. I mean, we were touching on that yesterday, where it's just like, when we don't allow the questions to come from the generation that will soon take the baton, you will get a radical response. So it's just like, it's the child that you say, well, you can't go over there. You can't hop the fence. You can't go outside. Okay. Or what they always say with girls, like, hey, if you don't talk to your sons and your daughters about sex and you just tell them it's not allowed, then next thing you know, you look up, somebody pregnant at 16 type behavior. So it's just like, we're not understanding. And as we've grown older, we've learned how the importance of communication at a high level, expressing yourself through communication, being able to put words behind what you feel, not getting frustrated. These things are so important. But when we see these type of situations where Piers Morgan and the other guy, they're just almost baiting people. Like, oh, I read books, I've lived longer. You're saying all these condescending remarks towards people. So it's just like, cool. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get that punk rock, I don't give a F, fuck this shit response. And it's because you're not working with the people that are going to be running the race after you. And so why don't you value their opinions? Because as they're getting older, does Nick need to live 5 more years for him to sound more educated like you, or 10 more years? Or does he need to get wrinkly in the face for you to respect him? Like, respect isn't something we necessarily attach to age as we've gotten older. That was an old way of thinking. Respect is earned, and it's through your actions. And so I don't care how old you are, nor how young you are. If you are standing and moving in a way in which this allows you to show us you are willing to do these things, then we on board with that. But when you got an older guy say, well, I'm older, so I don't give a fuck. If Shedeur Sanders know how to put that shit in the breadbasket, put his rookie ass in the game. Feds got me, fan. I'm about to go straight, switch it out. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't care if you're a rookie. I don't care if you're a vet. We don't care about none of that. We want the best person in the seat. You got to get off of thinking and equating that when you see older individual that it comes with some type of prestige or some type of wisdom. No, there are a lot of old idiots, just like there are a lot of young idiots. And so we're going to push the focus to be, look, Nick Fuentes is what, 27, we said? Like, don't sit here and be in no pissing match with him, Piers Morgan. When you was 27, what you was doing? You didn't have this motion. Don't speak down to the people that's got motion. You a hater. That's what you're showing. You're hating because he figured it out a lot earlier. And he's standing on his beliefs. Whether or not you agree with them or don't agree with them, that's okay. But what we're here to focus on, we're not going to keep downplaying this young generation just because they're stepping into their passion 15 years before you did. Just because they have adapted to the times, come on, man. And they and gone about this way. So that's my little rant about that situation.
I'm with you. And I want to show this video because I almost forgot to play this. I almost forgot to play this. I want to highlight what happened in the interview when Piers Morgan, a 60-year-old, is making fun of a 27-year-old who has the discipline to follow his faith and not be out here having sex. Virgin, right? Something that I respect. Take a look at this. Take a look at this exchange, and then I'm going to share something with you afterwards. Which one is it?
Basically, you're just a misogynist old dinosaur, aren't you? Basically, you're just a misogynist old dinosaur, aren't you? For a young guy. Yeah. I mean, I know I'm the boomer. I know I'm the boomer here, but actually, you're a 27-year-old dinosaur, aren't you? Aren't you, Nick Fuentes? All women. I am. All women are annoying. All women grow old. They all get fat. Says the guy. Have you ever had sex?
No, absolutely not.
Wow. Says the guy who's never got laid.
So you make fun of somebody who's never gotten laid, and this is your marriage, Piers.
Oh, I heard about this, bruh.
This is what your wife is posting, Piers. This is the happy wife, happy life bullshit that has created all the problems that our generation now has to deal with when it comes to women. Total side note, but it is what it is. This is what Celia Walden is posting. Piers Morgan's wife, I'm sorry. When the husband's away, Mr. Suds comes to play. He's posting this. Hold on, there's more. She also went on, I believe, she was bragging about going on like a 5-week sabbatical, or she left her marriage for like 6 weeks and took a break. I'm like, yo, this is the leadership. When we look at how things are right now, we have to look at the leadership. Attitude reflects leadership. All the things that we're going through right now, all this happy wife, happy life, believe all women, women are perfect, women can do no wrong. My daughter, you're perfect just the way you are. You're the most beautiful person in the world. All this stuff. This is what happens when you have people like Piers Morgan who are running things and setting the tone on what manhood is, I guess. Look at this. Look at this. She's clowning this man's. This is so disrespectful, bro. So disrespectful, bro. Across the board. This is why there are Nick Fuenteses. This is why at some point the older generation has to take responsibility for this. And I don't know if I've ever heard anybody in that generation acknowledge the things that have been caused by their lack of leadership. I don't think that they have. There's not that level of accountability or responsibility in, oh, we're just living in chaos? How did we get here? Like, how did we get here? Well, who brought us here? Who led us here? Who told us to come here? Let's get back to the, I guess that was the end of that clip.
Clowning them. I'm seeing cuck all in the comments.
This is embarrassing, bro. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. We are living in a society that, like when Nick Fuentes says certain things like women should be at home, like women shouldn't have a vote. I think that women should be able to vote. I think that women should be able to work whatever jobs it is that they want to work. But what we're seeing is a response to a generation in society that has been led by emasculated men and women that feel that they embrace this victimhood mentality. So now they're overcompensating, in my opinion, based on this feeling like, oh, I didn't have the power, so now I want this power. I still want the privilege that comes along with being a woman. I still want that. But, oh, I want the power of a man. And that is these pandering ass fathers, bro. I can't stand it. These weak men that it gets to a point where even when you have a real conversation, people will be like, oh my God, I don't like the way that you said that. I'm comfortable with it. It's like, yo, who raised you, bro? Have you never been around a man? Have you never, like, even from a standpoint of, I'll tell you what also did it. Remember when Donald Trump got in trouble for he having the hot mic saying grab him by the pee? Like, they'll just let you grab him by the. When I saw a whole bunch of men calling that out, saying, oh my God, like, how could Donald Trump say such a thing? I was just sitting back like, what? That's how men talk. That's how we talk when we're just, now it may not be appropriate and you can say that, but also what you should say after that or preface it with is the fact that that's how men talk and we all talk like that. We've all said certain things like that around our friends when we don't think that a mic is in front of our face. But when I saw the pandering responses to a lot of these women to act as if Donald Trump said something so wildly out of control, I'm just sitting back like, yo, what?
That's not the locker room, my boy.
This is what you're hanging them on? Two guys just talking ish. Him saying that he said, yeah, they just let you grab him by the, well, that's what they will do. When you're Donald Trump and you got the money that he has and you got the celebrity and you got the power that he has, that's what what video did we start off with? This man's married with 3 kids and she's still letting them have raw sex with her, allegedly. She's still letting them have raw sex, impregnate her, allegedly, based on MBK. I hope you heard this from a credible source. Don't have me looking crazy on here. But it's allegedly. But the point is still the point. The point is still the point. This is how this is. Yeah, it's just a very pandering type of nature that in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just a very pandering type of
men. It's back on the men. It's put on back on the plate of the men again.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I want to show this. We can't have a day without talking about Israel. I just won't allow. No, let me stop. I shouldn't. That was a bad joke. But let me highlight this. This is something that I've been wanting to play for a very bit. Whenever I'm not a fan of Jonathan Greenwald. I'm not Jonathan Greenblatt. I'm sorry, Jonathan Greenblatt. Whoa, Maya, you heard what name I just said? My apologies. Absolutely. Greenblatt. Yes, Greenblatt. I want to play these 2 different videos. So one was from a Turning Point USA event where a child or a student was asking about. You go ahead.
Oh no. I'm just ad libs.
Oh, okay. Oh, my fault. Where a student was asking about the support that we give to Israel, and then I want us to take a look at Jonathan Greenblatt's response.
Who is Jonathan Greenwald? I've heard that name before.
Greenblatt. Don't say Greenwald.
No, I was saying, but who is Greenwald? I've heard that name before.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let's get into this video.
Man, and I'm just confused why that there's this notion that we might have owe Israel something, or that they're our greatest ally, or that we have to support this multi-$100 billion foreign aid package to Israel to cover this, to quote Charlie Kirk, ethnic cleansing in Gaza. I'm just confused why this idea has come around, considering the fact that not only does their religion not agree with ours, but also openly supports the prosecution of ours.
Yeah, so let's say a few things about this. First of all, when the President of the United States says America first, that means that he pursues the interests of Americans first. That is our entire foreign policy. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have alliances, that you're not going to work with other countries from time to time. And that is what the president believes, is that Israel, sometimes they have similar interests to the United States and we're going to work with them in that case. Sometimes they don't have similar interests to the United States. And this example, the most recent Gaza peace plan that all of us have been working on very hard for the past few weeks, the president of the United States could only get that peace deal done by actually being willing to apply leverage to the state of Israel. So when people say that Israel is somehow manipulating or controlling the president of the United States, they're not controlling this president of the United States, which is one of the reasons why we'd be able to have some of the success that we've had in the Middle East. Now you ask about, sort of Jews disagreeing with Christians on certain religious ideas? Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the realities is that Jews do not believe that Jesus Christ is the Messiah. Obviously, Christians do believe that. There are some significant theological disagreements between Christians and Jews. My attitude is, let's have those conversations. Let's have those disagreements when we have them. But if there are shared areas of interest, we ought to be willing to do that too. For example, one thing I really, really care about is the preservation of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. Christians believe that that is the site where Jesus Christ was crucified, and also that his tomb is right there as well. My attitude is, if we can work with our friends in Israel to make sure that Christians have safe access to that site, that's an obvious area of common interest. I am fine with that. What I'm not okay with is any country coming before the interests of American citizens, and it is important for all of us, assuming we're American citizens, to put the interest of our own country first. That's what we're going to do. That's what we try to do every single day, I promise you.
Stop lying, bro.
No, hold on. Before you say something, because I know you know a lot. I'm coming from that position where I don't really know. It sounded like he's a good speaker.
Amazing. J.D. Vance is one of the most impressive politicians.
Okay.
Like across the board. J.D. Vance.
He known for this.
J.D. Vance, I was saying this for months. Like every time I hear J.D. Vance, I'm like, damn, like he'll have you like completely shifting your opinion. Like he's a very good.
Okay, dope. I want to be very vulnerable to the viewers. The political game I'm just now getting into. Dak has been really like, we talk about this stuff and stuff. So I'm really starting to get more involved in hearing these people. That's why I'm asking questions about names, et cetera, et cetera. So to be transparent about that. So I like to I'm coming in a little bit unbiased. So when I hear stuff, I always want to let him know, hey, this is what I'm hearing. And then I want to sit back and hear what he says. So then I can start to piece together what is going on and what the people are saying, et cetera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much the kid's asking what we're all asking. And this is, I think, Tucker's point when he was talking to Theo Von. But he's saying like, bro, this stuff is not that complicated. Like we can just look at this stuff and see like, yeah, clearly certain people have an influence on our government. Clearly, Donald Trump is compromised and doing what's in the best interest of Israel and a lot of the Jewish American billionaires or Israeli billionaires that are Jewish that have given him a lot of money. That's just, it's not really a difficult thing to evaluate. That's what's happening. J.D. Vance is just up here and a gifted politician or just very skilled at communicating to where he can completely disregard what the actual point of the question was and go into all these other different areas where he's still kind of talking about the things that the kid asked about. But it's like, bro, you're addressing the things that we're clearly seeing are not happening. But because you're a gifted communicator, it almost like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he got people just bouncing like, yeah.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So this video was responded to by Jonathan Greenblatt. So it says ADL CEO Jonathan Greenblatt says the student at Ole Miss who asked J.D. Vance about Israel made him worry. The whooping and the cheering that happened as he asked this crazy question about Israel persecuting Christians and whatever, it was terrifying. Let's actually take a look at this.
But I worry. I mean, I think if you saw, there was a thing a few weeks ago about when J.D. Vance at Ole Miss and he got asked a question about the state of Israel. I didn't like how the vice president answered the question, but what was more salient was the young man who asked it, Ami, and the whooping and the cheering that happened as he asked this crazy question about Israel persecuting Christians or whatever. It was terrifying. Again, not just what he said, but the response to this was an Ole Miss. This is not like the Harvard Yard. Okay. This is not like the Middle East Studies Department at Columbia University. This was Ole Miss. So I thought that was alarming.
The fact that people like him get up on stage and think that they can give us certain information as if we can't just look at what's going on or understand, or even from a simple point of, we talk about America being founded on Judeo-Christian values. We talk about Israel being our greatest ally. Why can't we even go to your country and get married?
We see what happens with Christians. You had Officer Tatum go to Israel and come back and say he had a great time. He only got spit on once for being Christian. I'm like, wait, what?
Hold on, what?
So that's a thing that happens out there, apparently.
Oh, I saw somebody put that in the comments and said, "You want me to kiss your wall, get spit on." I was like, damn, what?
It happens. It's not even like a questionable thing. Is my mic still working?
Yeah, it's working. Bro, you got to explain this for me, bro.
It's very simple. Like, I don't think that Jewish people respect Christianity. Jewish people don't hold Jesus in high regards, which is why it's so confusing when it comes to Judeo-Christian values as if they're aligned when they're not at all aligned.
Jewish people spit on Christians?
Bro, like, not all of them. I'm not saying that all of them are there, but yeah, Israelis and Jewish Israelis, like, that's a thing. That's a common thing. Officer Tatum, who's a very pro-Jewish person, very pro-Zionist, pro-Israel person, there's a popular story of him talking about. I can try to find it. But yeah, hold on.
Yo, chat. Finn said, yeah, BK. Chat, this shit is blowing my mind right now. When we talk about just human decency and treating people morally correct, are you kidding me?
I'm trying to find it. Hold on.
Open Phyllis says openly have disdain for us. There are dozens of videos of them spitting on Christians.
I think this is, I don't know if this is the video. I don't want to waste a minute and 47 seconds of y'all time, but I think this may be a video which he acknowledges it in when he's talking to Netanyahu, and he's like, yeah, you know, I went out to Israel and I hope I didn't, like, this is where bias can come in, where sometimes you hear something and it's like, wait, did I really hear that? But I remember Officer Tatum giving his story and saying, like, yeah, you know, it was great. Like, yeah, we only got spit on once. Like, it's like, yo, hold on.
To a small degree, in my opinion. And there are people who believe, to a small degree, in my opinion, that Christians' relationships or the relationships of Christians in Israel aren't as good. And so can you speak to that, Prime Minister, about how Christians live in Israel? Are they accepted in Israel? Are they treated fairly in Israel?
Well, first of all, this is the birthplace of Christianity. You know, in all these sites, people could walk and do walk in the footsteps of Jesus. Christians are not merely tolerated in Israel. They're welcomed as a treasure of our common Judeo-Christian heritage. And Israel is the only place in the Middle East where Christians are safe, because throughout the Middle East, churches are bombed, Christians are killed, as happened in Syria, murdered mercilessly.
Y'all bombed the church. Yo, this is wild, bro. When you actually even go back and hear it again, literally the people that are accusing other people of doing things, they are literally doing. Y'all bombed the church, and he's lying. Like, I actually watched the documentary about Iran and like how there's Christians out there and how they're treated. They're just lying, bro. Like, they're lying. If you understand the history of this, and even some people wrote it in the comments as far as what it says in the Talmud about Jesus, what it says about the Virgin Mary, what it says about how they think about Jesus overall, this is not an alignment. This is not an ally. This is one group of people who thinks that they owe their lives to serving the other group, while the other group laughs at their Messiah and laughs at this whole Virgin Mary stuff. These are just the facts, bro. These are just the facts. Like, I'm not speculating on this, but let's keep going.
And elsewhere. And in Israel, we are brothers. If you actually talk to the majority of Christians, talk to them, you'll see what they say. They say Israel is the only place where we're respected and protected.
And I can attest to that as a Christian who went to Israel. I spent 2 weeks there with the church, and we had an incredible time. We had only one incident where a small child spit on one of the pastors, and immediately after, there was an adult that came by and said, "That's not a representation of who we are. You know, we love you guys. You guys are always welcome here." And I have to say, no adults gave us any grief. We had no issues whatsoever and our experience there, it was actually an amazing experience. It actually changed the way I thought about Israel, and I fell in love with Israel when I came there. And I think a lot of that is a testament to how Christians are actually treated, not what the naysayers say.
Hey, BK, you remember when you were going on your football visits and the coaches were treating you a certain way? And they were treating you like, yo, you the top recruit in the country.
Yeah.
Because they know that you're going there and they're trying to make it attractive to you, right? So then and then when you got to campus and we showed up in that bum ass locker room with used cleats, they wouldn't give us gloves. And it's like, hold up,
what happened?
Officer Tatum, you dummy. You're like, this is like, you're an influencer going out there for exactly what you're doing here and report back. And and my apologies. I've called Megyn Kelly a dummy and Officer Tatum. Not really. Shouldn't be with the name calling. Whatever. Cool. This is dumb.
Oh shit.
This is dumb and it's ignorant. You feel me? It's extremely dumb and it's extremely ignorant. And a lot of people are just uninformed when it comes to our relationship with Israel. And I sit back and wonder how people like Ted Cruz and all these evangelical Christians, like, how are y'all supporting this stuff, bro? Bro literally is on an interview with the Prime Minister of Israel talking about, yeah, we had a great time. We only had an incident where, one little young kid spit on us. Well, where do you think this kid learned this behavior from, Officer Tatum? I know you're mind blown. You weren't aware. Yeah.
Bro, we have so much talk about religion and how to find a common ground and be respectful. Bro, I had no idea this was the shit. Bro, what? Not saying that I'm not this as compelled or as passionate about when I see killings and stuff like that. But bro, I have never even known that this shit goes down. What the fuck is going on? This religion vehicle is out of control, bro. Oh my goodness.
It's an arrogance, and people will say it's just Israel. It's just Israel. Okay. It's just Israel. When it comes to black people, you can highlight how black culture has certain issues. When it comes to Islam, no problem categorizing everybody else. Listen to this Roseanne Barr. Listen to this. Is it on the screen? Hold on. Listen to this. Like the arrogance of...
What are you going to do about it, Nick Fuentes? What you going to do about it when I tell you, you little bastard, you're going to be begging the Jews to give you, I don't know what.
Medicine for his Kalman syndrome?
You're going to be begging the Jews to help you down on your knees and repent like Kanye West, motherfucker. Keep it up. It's a fucking, what do they call it?
Reckoning?
It's a sting. It's a God sting. Are you going to go against the God of Abraham? You're going to shit talk the God of the Torah? Keep it up, motherfucker.
Not just
You'll
the
see
Torah,
what happens.
the Bible? Jesus?
We'll see what happens when you try to overthrow the Constitution of the United States, the Republic of the United States of America. You talk shit about that, saying it ain't good, that we got to have some Catholic theology to replace it. You can kiss my motherfucking rich Jew American ass motherfucker. Yeah. Come and debate me. Let's debate.
All right, I got one more video to show you, bro. One more video to show you. This is going to be a graphic video. So for those that don't want to see a graphic video, going to be very uncomfortable, but I think that's what people need.
What in the world?
Somebody tweeted Randy Fine a picture of a child, a baby in the rubble in Gaza, and said, "How can you live with yourself? How do you sleep?" Quote, "Quite well, actually. Thanks for the pic!" Exclamation point. This is a sitting Republican member of Congress. When that came out, I called the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, and said, well, this is the Republican Party. How can you allow this? How can you allow a member of Congress, a Republican, you're his overseer, you're the Speaker, you're in charge of all the House Republicans. This is the Republican Party? Will we laugh at a picture of a dead baby because Randy Fine thinks that child is infected with unholy blood, or she's not human? She's Amalek or something? This is insane. If this is what it means to support Israel, a lot of us are out.
What we ordering on DoorDash, bro? What we ordered on DoorDash. That's why I say people don't really care, bro. People don't really care. Like, it's hard to watch videos like this and to not speak out on this stuff, bro. And Unc mentioned Amalek. So if you heard, that's what Tucker was referring to. Like, maybe we should watch the story of the Amalekites. Watch it again, because we watched it maybe a month or so ago. But yeah.
Damn, bruh. These white folks got out of control.
What you talking about?
These white folks out of control, bro.
You got to be specific, bro. You can't just be labeling everybody, bro.
Look, I be saying these niggas out of control, bro. And niggas know what I'm talking about then. Yo, this is the ultimate gangbanging. We don't have a problem in the black community. We got a huge problem in the white community. We need to address this shit, because there's a certain level of gangbanging that ain't no little 15-year-old run around the streets robbing is ever going to compare to the shit that I'm witnessing. This is gangbanging 10 fucking X. And they have a media contract. So all this shit is being shown. Black people, white folks don't even know what the fuck happens in the hood. This shit is televised. I've never seen such. This is past corporate gang. This is unreal. This is religion gangbanging. What sets you claim? What flag you holding? What the fuck, bruh?
And please allow me to reiterate that is a member of Congress, a U.S. representative, Randy Fine. A representative in the great state of Florida.
Bro, this gangbanging? Nah.
But we mad at Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes said that women shouldn't have the right to vote. But meanwhile, we got a congressman laughing at a dead baby during a genocide, and where's the politicians at calling him out? Shouldn't he be fired? Like, what happens here?
Fired, jailed.
If you did that and you worked at Waffle House, you'd probably get fired.
You probably get beat up too. What the fuck? Nobody says nothing? Bro, you couldn't pay me enough money to fuck with these. You couldn't pay me to get into that shit, bro. If you talk about selling your morals, bro, for every motherfucker in the Republican Party who is in them offices, in them high positions, y'all some bitch ass motherfuckers, bro. That is the wackest shit I've ever seen. And I'm associating all of them. Just like we love to associate black crime. I'm associating all of them. If Republicans on that type of time and y'all ain't get that motherfucker up out of there, he has the confidence to do that and know he's still got a job to roll up to tomorrow? Y'all not outside the crib? Where the BLM movement? Where the feminist movement? I don't care what you on. You supposed to, that got to get out of there. Nobody's rallying? My heart is
going
broken.
after Nick Fuentes.
My heart's broken after this episode was real, bro. You pulled out some shit I ain't never seen before, my nigga. Oh my God. This is unacceptable, y'all. Holy shit. This is politics. This is the game. Snap the photo, retweet it, and did he respond to this shit?
And you wonder why people are not caring about the Holocaust anymore. You wonder why people are firing against
Jewish people and anti-Semitism when you have somebody
I understand it now.
who's standing on the genocide that's currently being committed by Israel, the only Jewish state in the world, and you have a Randy Fine, a U.S. congressman, a representative, laughing and saying that he sleeps well at a dead baby.
Didn't nobody get his address? Pull up, spin? They was outside Nick Fuentes' office. They be threatening Candace, but nobody pushing up on him? I can't believe what I just saw, bro. I know it exists, y'all. And let me be clear. I'm not that naive. I know this stuff exists, but 1 picture, 2 picture, 3 picture, 4, bro. It hit the same every time. What the flying fuck is going on? What is this gangbanging? But y'all white folks better chill with that religion shit. Look at that shit got y'all doing. That religious shit got people tripping, bruh. I don't care. All that argument we talked about yesterday, I don't give a fuck. If y'all want to be associated with that shit, y'all can have it. I don't give a damn about none of that, bro. You couldn't pay me to get involved in religion if it's gonna put kids in the ground like that. Fuck is you talking about? Y'all still fighting for that? And his testimony comes from because he don't believe in what he believe in? That's the flag we raising? Nah, y'all got it. White folks different, bro. Y'all folks different, bro. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. If y'all can still rep them flags and y'all can be, y'all got it, bro. I'm going to just have to talk to him when I get up there, bro. And I'm going to give him the reason how I got here. Because he got to know my heart. And my heart just couldn't affiliate with this shit, bro. I can still walk in a clear path with a clear conscience and do what's right, human. But I cannot. I ain't flagging. You ain't gonna see me running around repping this. Nah, y'all got it, man. Y'all go ahead and beef it out, hash it out in the basement, stand on it, take photos. Y'all go ahead and bring all that energy to that shit. I'm over here, bruh. I'm just going to get back to the kids. I'm just going to tell the kids about discipline, responsibility, accountability. I'm going to just tell them about that shit. But I'm not telling them to go down that path, because if I got to tell somebody to go down the path of religion and you telling me this is the shit they got to see in order to what? What's the graduate? Where do I go when I graduate? Y'all got it. Wherever I got to go, bro, I'll go. I can't subscribe to that. Y'all crazy if you think I'm riding on that, bro. Are you kidding? I don't even know why we be having those debates. After seeing that, Dak, I don't know why everybody be fighting with you. What y'all arguing about? You didn't see what he saw? Nigga, you wouldn't be mad too? Oh, nah. Fuck all that. That religion got niggas doing that, talking like that, tweeting that. And where he going? The same spot y'all going? He going to the same spot, the same floor, the penthouse? Enjoy, y'all. Kick your feet up. Write me a letter. I'll be wherever all the niggas who didn't just subscribe go. And I'll just thug it out the rest of what it is. I can't do that, bro. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
And you know what's so unfortunate about it? And this is the thing. This is the thing. Randy Fine is probably not well, he's Jewish, so heaven, I don't know what they believe as far as the afterlife. But it's kind of, do I want to go that route? I don't think that Jewish people are even concerned about where they go after they pass away, based on my understanding. I have no idea. I'm completely ignorant when it comes to that. But I've never even really heard them. And I say that, let me say, I'm not concerned where I go after this. Just not. This type of thing happens, and we see everybody sit back and allow it. We see our country continue to get bullied and misled. And I'm with you, George. Trump is the biggest sellout of all time. Going to work? Oh, okay. And then, my fault. Trump is the biggest sellout. And you know what? There's a comment earlier that Watch My Playlist wrote that I wanted to highlight. And he wrote, so now we know why World War I and World War II happened. Oh, my bad. I mean, every single conflict in human history. I don't know if this is true. Watch My Playlist. I'm telling you, I don't know if it's true. You may be 100% right, but I don't know it. But what I do know is that when we see certain things happen like that we just saw, and we see it being justified based on your religious affiliation, based on, you guys referencing the Amalekites and that all Palestinians, they're just inherently born as evil and we need to rid the planet of all of them. It's going to make a lot of people question why Hitler decided to do some of the things that he did, why these people that have kicked a lot of Jewish people out of their countries, why they have. I'm not saying that it's for good reasons, rational reasons. I'm not saying all that. I'm not sitting here saying Hitler was a good person, not saying any of those things. But what I'm saying is when you justify behavior like Randy Fine, what do you expect the response to be? What do you expect the response to be when we will sit here on our high horse and wag the finger at Nick Fuentes? Wag the finger at Nick Fuentes because he was playing a video game, and this is what goofy Megyn Kelly did. I said I wasn't going to name call. Goofy's not bad, but whatever. This is what Megyn Kelly did when she's interviewing Ben Shapiro, and they're talking about Nick Fuentes, and they play a video of Nick Fuentes playing a video game and running over Ben Shapiro and saying, hey, I think that was Ben Shapiro. And Megyn Kelly sitting there like, oh my God, the audacity of like how people can support him. But then you got Randy Fine, a U.S. congressman, doing what he just did. This is why, like, it's almost to the point where you got to question, like, is all this intentional? Like, is this arrogance intentional? Like, is this just all part of the play to, like, do you want people to hate you? I really sit back and wonder sometimes, like, hold on, are you trying to get people to hate you because
like,
then if they hate you,
trolling shit?
You can play victim, and then by playing victim, you can sit back and say the entire world is against us, and it becomes like a uniting call for your people. I sit here and really wonder these things.
Yeah, it seems like on this some trolling, this some bait and shit. There's no way, bro. What? That shit. Yes. Podcast 1, BK0 today, bro. Y'all got it. I ain't got it in me today, bro.
Well, it's 10 o'clock. Hold up.
Yeah.
Oh. I told you, whenever my dad sends a text, gotta make sure. You know how nobody can tone police me. Nobody, if my parents, if they send me a text, like, I gotta make sure. Make sure I ain't going to. Gotta make sure. But yeah, this is, and I hate to finish out the show on that note, but perhaps it's necessary because perhaps a lot of us, we don't look at what's happening to another group of people as if it's happening to us. Like, that's true. What we talked about yesterday, that's spirituality. That's real. That's something that I'll unite on. If you got a religion that you're pushing that is going to be pushed in a way where the culture of that religion is going to be uniting all of us to the point where we care about what's going on, to the point where this type of situation can't happen, where we're not allowing it, I'm on board. Sign me up. I'll serve. I'll serve.
I'll subscribe.
You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to me sitting back and observing all this stuff, and people just allowing certain people to play with their God or play with their commandments, it just becomes a bit uncomfortable for me. I can't rock with that. I can't rock with that. But there's an opportunity, and the bar is very low. There's an opportunity for all of us to become this change, to stand up, to speak against it in whatever way that means for you. You don't have to have a YouTube channel, but maybe you should. You don't have to, be out here, doing what BK and I are doing. You don't have to be
out here getting it.
Yeah, you ain't got to be. It ain't for everybody. But you can hit them super chat. Now, let me say, but you can
But you can send them yo.
Because we gonna keep doing it.
Man,
We gonna keep doing it, bro.
I think, I'm not gonna lie. I feel even more confident and more secure in what we doing, bro. After that, because if he was confident enough to send that, knowing who he was, then the people that are trying to rally behind positivity, humanity, morals, all that stuff, better be coming with the same fucking energy. So don't be in the comments. And when y'all see people in the comments telling me to relax while you yelling, y'all jump in the comments and tell them to shut the fuck up. Because we need to understand what kind of fight we in, what kind of game we in. This ain't no speak to me calmly shit. You see the tweets going out? You see the messages coming out from political parties? You think me cussing is a problem? Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck? Don't address me about my tone. Don't address me about my cussing. Don't address me about my mic. Don't address me about not a fucking thing. The way I gotta come strapped up and ready to be louder than a tweet. What words I'm gonna say that's gonna be more impactful than the shit he's saying if I don't stay consistent? Y'all better know what kind of fight we in. If we fighting humanity, you better bring your nuts and put them on the table. I ain't with all that soft shit. This is why we got to go to Patreon, Dak. Because if you two gonna turn us down, the voice gonna turn us down, where the fuck we gonna go and stand on business at?
You right.
There's no other way, y'all. We gotta come with it. We gotta come with the right energy, y'all. That photo I seen, damn, that ain't in my algorithm. I'm sorry, I'm naive. I was ignorant. I know it exists, bro. But when you see it, it hit different every time you see the shit. That ain't cool, bro. And if that's in the name of the Lord, if that's in the name of God, if the people, if that's what it's in the name is, shit, you're gonna have to pull up on me with that energy. If it's up, it's up. Let me know. Let me know what you believe in. Pull up on me. I'm not standing for none of that. And I'm going to have to pop my shit that I ain't either. I'm not going to be sitting in the back talking about some, well, that ain't my people. Fuck that. I'm telling me that ain't nobody people. And we going to call them out. And it is what it is. So, nah, we ain't off none of that shit. Ain't letting that shit slide. We letting that shit slide still. 2025, cats still dying in the name of somebody. People still getting killed in the name of somebody, huh? Still? Why? Because cats ain't willing to pop out. Say shit. Bring the energy. I'm with all that. Yeah, we going to have to bond together, y'all. We got to stay tight. We got to share the like button. Like it, share it, send it to your peoples. We need all troops in the fucking building, y'all. Y'all know the Discord. Subscribe, set the notification. This is a real one, bro. This is a real one. Send the Discord. This is too real, bro. That's unacceptable, man. I can't. Nah, I'm not getting behind that. That's unacceptable. We're not gonna do that. We need to have everybody united. What Steve be saying? Everybody united on Steve, where is it? Everybody united on something, but like positivity or something of that nature. But yeah, that's what we want, bro.
United on decency in the pursuit of truth. I think that's what it was.
That's our new tag. Yeah, that's what we on, y'all. That's what we got to be on, bro. Oh, we got a super chat in the building. Thank you so much. Oh, it's our dog, Samira. What up, Samira? Appreciate that. Here you go. Keep doing what you guys are doing. Thank you so much, Samira. We appreciate it. I saw your comments throughout when we showed that video. Yeah, this is impactful, bro. White folks be tripping sometimes.
Yeah, and speaking of the Rumbles, I thought I got to figure out this Rumble thing. I'll figure it out because for the last like 3 years, bro, I've been thinking that we've been on Rumble, and I don't think that the lives are even playing. Like I'm looking back now because I don't really look at it. Like I just clicked the link because I think who said that? Finn, that you can live stream on different platforms. Yeah, so we'll figure that out. We got to. So
y'all enjoy y'all weekend, man. Y'all make sure y'all do something for somebody else before you do it for yourself. Be positive. Take a deep breath. Go put your feet in some damn grass so you can get grounded. You know, I don't know. Go for a walk with your people you love. Go invite your neighbor for a walk, bro, and just talk. And then Monday, we got work to do. Classes in session at 8 o'clock sharp. I don't want to see nobody fucking late because we got some shit to talk about. We got a lot of work to do. We go into the new year. We need to structure this thing, strategize this thing, unite this thing. We're going to have to fucking get this shit straight because these motherfuckers ain't fighting the same fight I thought we was fighting. I thought we was, nah. If he that confident, Dak, to put that shit out and he can just go to work the next day?
Wouldn't you be?
Damn.
If you allowed to get away with it for so long, if you've been bullying this country for so long, if your big homie clearly bigger than this country's big homie, wouldn't you?
Damn.
He walking in letting his nuts fully hang while we sitting here walking around on eggshells. We have to be so worried about the things that we say about Jewish people, about Israel, about Zionists. We have to be so careful saying these things. But it seems like the energy is not reciprocated. It seems like the energy, it doesn't go that same way when it comes to the criticism that a lot of, like I wonder if I was Jewish, I would be highly offended by not only what's going on in Palestine, with the genocide, but I'd be highly offended by somebody like Randy Fine. Where's the movement? And there are some rabbis. There are a group of rabbis that we've shown on the show plenty of times where there are some more, but they're more the Orthodox. I believe it's more the Orthodox. I believe that's the right term for them. The Orthodox rabbis in New York who have, marched against this. But overall, as a population, overall, I don't see the Jewish culture calling out a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good thing, Dak. Where the Jewish people at? Why they ain't tapped in? They can't say nothing, huh?
They tribal. Maybe it's a problem within their culture. Just like you ask black people, why black people ain't addressing all this damn black on black crime in Chicago? Why they not addressing it? It's the same thing. People for whatever reason, they turn a blind eye. They have this unhealthy allegiance to a group of people to your people, where it creates these blind spots and it creates tribalism amongst your people, and you start to excuse behavior. That's why it's not about principles, morals, and values. It's about us versus them. That's why, even going back to the Megyn Kelly video, whenever somebody's talking about some us versus them stuff, I'm always like looking at it a little bit differently now, because no, it's not about that. It's about principles and morals. But the Jewish culture, great question. Great question. I ask my dad this all the time when I speak to, when I talk about my neighbors, my uncle and aunt, my Jewish uncle and aunt. It bothers me all the time. I feel like it takes me back to that story that I was telling you the other day
about the kid,
my buddy Yusuf,
basketball,
my Muslim friend. It takes me back to all that. Like, damn, how could such great people, you know what I'm saying? Which I know that they are, or always have seen them that way. When it comes to this type of issue, not stand up and speak out against it.
Damn, do you know how much different this fight would be if Jewish people were?
But you ask it, it's in your scripture. It's in their scripture. They're referencing scripture. They're literally referencing scripture. This is why when we have the religious conversation, it's like, well, how could they think this? How could they think this? It's in the scripture. It's in your playbook.
Playbook.
It's in your playbook. Like literally, it's in your playbook. And we're wondering, like, damn, why would they run this? It's in the playbook. You know how you open your playbook in football, and they usually, the first couple pages, they talk about the culture of the team, the rules of the team, what we stand on, what's our motto. It's in the book.
This is the play in the book.
It's in not only that book, but it's in the Christian book, right? It's in the Bible. It's in the book. Like, this is why we're not doing this today, BK.
Box breathing, man. Shut it down. Monday, y'all be back in fucking session.
All right, let's do some box breathing. All right, so we're going to move on to box breathing. We're going to do our
box breathing technique that we got from our big bro Steve, which we do a 4-second inhale, being very intentional with the positive energy that we're entering into our system. Then we're going to do a 4-second hold. And then after the 4-second hold, we're going to do a 4-second exhale in which we're focusing on very intentionally and getting rid of all this negative energy, any limiting energy, anything that's going to prevent us from becoming the best version of ourselves as we strive to maximize our potential. So with that being said, if you're in a safe place, close your eyes if you feel comfortable. If you want to leave them open, leave them open. I'm going to close mine, and we're going to start with a 4-second inhale now. Ready? Begin. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Release the negative energy. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. We're going to go through one more time. One more time. Be very intentional with this next inhale. Inhale that positive energy. Feel it coming into your system. All right, ready? Begin. Hold. Then we're going to be very intentional. Keep holding. We're going to be very intentional with this exhale, getting rid of the last bit of that negative limited energy. Ready? Release. Hold. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right, Glay.
Yeah, that's it all I got today, man.
God is good.
All the time.
And all the time.
God is good.
Shout out to Big Bro Robert. Shout out to Big Bro Robert. It's important to constantly evaluate yourself to make sure you are not falling into a tribal mindset. If you 100% agree with the opinions of a group, you are falling into tribalism. That is a fact.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Robert.
Yo, Carmen, so hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. Carmen said, I passed out, dog, from that box breathing. Yo, there'd be times where, and I definitely forgot. I think I went through an extra one. That's why I tried to add at the end. I'm like, yo, what number is it? 3, 4? I'm like, yeah, just got in that zone. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all. As always, y'all know what we come here to do, elevate on purpose, both from an intentional standpoint as well as raising our standards to become the courageous leaders that are needed now more than ever. Y'all can see the videos. Who's going to step up, man? Who's going to sacrifice? Who's going to prepare to make sure that you're in the best possible position to where you can use your leverage, use whatever it is that we have to unite the people as we unite on decency in the pursuit of truth, all right? Onward and upward, strength and honor. Y'all know what it is when I say get to that bag. That's the focus. What are we focusing on throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year that's ultimately going to determine what our impact on this world is going to be? What is our impact going to be? What is our purpose? That's what Theo Vaughn was talking about. What's going to be the legacy that we leave behind? No matter what we've done thus far, and a lot of times we talk about the boomers, we talk about this, we talk about that. Truth be told, BK and I are getting to the point where I'm 38, he's 37. Before we know it, we're going to be in that same group where it's like, yo, y'all need to get out the way and let a lot of these young people, step up and take the lead. And perhaps we're only getting to that point very soon. But I want to emphasize that there's a role for everybody to play.
There's a role for everybody to play, and none of this is going to work unless you got the center hiking the ball to the quarterback, you got the blocking, you got the special teams, and then you got the people in practice preparing us. So there's a role for everybody. There's a role for everybody. Embrace whatever your role is. Put the ego to the side, and let's figure out a way to leave this world in a better place than we inherited. On that note, the things that I like to focus on that are in my bag: peace, love, happiness, health, wealth, and in everything we do, integrity. And of course, got to add that balance. And on that note, BK, I'll let you share some of these wise words that we are fortunate to have from some of our OGs in the chat and take us out.
Yes, for sure. Don't sell yourself short. In Islam, you're not a full adult until 40. Absolutely. I didn't know that. Thank you, Cayman. I didn't know that. What else we got here? Steve, control what you can control. Be the change you want to see in the world. Treat others with the utmost decency in your pursuit of truth. Absolutely. What else we got? Where's our Marcus? Where's our Marcus at, Finn?
Oh yeah, Finn.
Man, I can't close it out, bro.
Well, Finn wrote something. Hold up.
Oh, hold your principles. Okay, yeah, that's what I said. Hold your principles like a shield, because courage isn't just facing the world, it's refusing to portray the values that define you. Finn 74, strength and honor. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much, Finn. You always been a trooper, man. Yeah.
And do us a favor and like on your way out. Like on your way out. It's definitely going to help boost the algorithm.
Like, subscribe, Discord it up. And like I said, we got some in the works, y'all, because we got to get this message out, and we noticing the throttle of these platforms and the propaganda. So be on the lookout. We working on some things behind the scenes that we'll be excited to share with y'all. But class is in session Monday. If you're on time, you're late. That's all I got to say.
Well, yeah, and I got to hold us to that standard as well. So we'll be on.
I knew you was gonna say that.
I got to, bro. I gotta hold myself to that standard as well. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, that was it though. That's all I got.
Yo, enjoy y'all weekend, man. Hug your family. Like BK said, that's a dope idea, bro. Take a walk with your family, man. Sit down and talk. Let's get more of those family dinners. Let's come together. A lot of times when we think that because it's such a monumental task that we're up against, that we think that we have to do so much. But in all actuality, perhaps we should focus on the areas in which we've disregarded, that we know that we can approach from an intentional standpoint, like just having a family dinner, locking in with the family. Perhaps we should. I've learned from everybody. So like I said earlier with the Shabbat, Shabbat is one of the things that I respect the most when it comes to the Jewish culture. And perhaps that's something that a lot of us can embrace, because I don't even think that that's independent or exclusive to the Jewish culture. Doesn't the Christian faith that say that God created the world in 6 days and rested on the seventh? So perhaps we could use those rest days to lock in with our family and build and prioritize what's important.
Hey, quick thing. I think Finn's birthday is either today or coming up.
Finn, talk to us.
Yeah, he's going to have some birthday cake, man. Happy birthday, y'all. In the chat, drop a W in the chat for Big Finn in the building.
Oh, I'm glad you remembered that, bro.
Birthday coming up, man. We're so appreciative to have found you from across the water, man. You've been nothing but a light to the community. But me and Dak personally, we talk about you on the mic, off the mic, in front of camera, off the camera. You've really become one of our people that we just sound check, like you just a part of the program, man. So
Discord, everything.
Discord. So please believe we notice who you are, and we definitely notice it when you aren't around, or when your presence isn't there. So man, you've been nothing but a light. Thank you so much, man. Continue to do what you've been doing, being a great father, being a great trooper and pioneer, and setting the stage and leading by example, man. So I thank you so much for your constant contribution.
I'll let you finish, but my fault. I almost cut you. I did cut you off. Sorry.
No,
but Finn said no. It's the twins.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Man. I mean, it's the twins' birthday. His daughter. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, happy birthday to them.
Happy birthday, twins.
Happy birthday to the twins, man. So you enjoy. You making 2 cakes, right? Man, he got to make 2 cakes.
So it's funny. Finn said his birthday. He said his birthday is the day after mine. But the twins' birthday's on the 19th. That's the day after my mom.
Gotcha.
So, we celebrating next week, the 18th, man. We celebrating mom's birthday. Maybe we can get her on camera. Maybe I'll stream from their house, or I'll have her come over here.
That'd be dope. That'd be super dope.
Yeah, I gotta have my mom and dad, especially we gotta get Pops on here. You know that'll be
That'll
get
be
my
dope.
dad on here. Y'all not gonna want to listen to BK and I.
Finn twins.
Nah,
that's all we got, man.
Yo, love y'all, man. Love y'all. We'll see y'all on Monday.